Action pack.
Countrywide.
Sports for all.
Good morning and welcome to North Cornwall, specifically to the Royal Cornwall Showground in Wadebridge, where the North Cornwall Point-To-Point gets underway in a few minutes' time. I know the days are theoretically getting a tiny bit longer, but it's still an AM start, a morning start here at Wadebridge. First race, the first of 6 at 11:30, and we will have 3 runners in that first race. It's I was going to say it was bright earlier on, sort of a grey afternoon here in Cornwall. The going described as being soft after a pretty stormy day yesterday, bit of rain this morning as well. But famously, this track is a very good drainer. And everybody happy with the state of the ground. One of 3 point-to-points taking place in Britain today. We're delighted to be here at Wadebridge, but hoping they're having lots of fun at Ampton and at Alnwick as well. So, as I say, the first of our 6 races is relatively imminent, and we will look in just 2 seconds' time at the runners and riders for the first race. First of all, though, let me tell you, just and I'll keep on sort of banging the drum on this all afternoon, but pointingdc.co.uk is the Devon and Cornwall area point-to-point website. All the news on there of runners, reports of meetings, lots of other good stuff as well. pointingdc.co.uk, and we're on various social media platforms, as you can see at the bottom of your screen there. So it could be Twitter, it could be Facebook, it could be whatever. And while we're plugging point-to-point websites, point-to-point.co.uk, the Point-to-Point Authority keeps you well informed as well. Lots of news, all the results and information about the race courses as well. And always well worth keeping saved and referencing on a regular basis. So let's have a look at the runners and riders for our first race this afternoon. We'll be going betting in just a second, but these are the runners and riders first of all. So we've got the 3 of the 6 entries for the Moors of St Wenn Hunt members race. Number 2, Cloudy Music, for the Summersbys. Charlotte Summersby riding Cloudy Music, and she also owns the horse. Porter Clock is being ridden by Darren Edwards. As you can see, Porter Clock also representing the Summersby team. And then we've got Potter's Approach for Patricia Shaw as well, and that one being ridden, as you can see, by Amy Benelick. So for the race this afternoon, the Moors of St Wenn Hunt members race, 3 miles, so they start in a bit of a chute away from us in the enclosures, and then they have a steady climb up over the first 6 fences. Then they go down the far side, a couple of fences on the far side of the racecourse, and they do it 2.5 times, I suppose. And that shot that you saw there is one of the many shots that are produced for you from Wadebridge by the Devon and Cornwall point-to-point area from a variety of cameras that are around the track. We'll just explore where some of those cameras are as the afternoon goes on. So, no horses yet. We'll get some horses in a few moments' time for the first race, but it gives a good opportunity for me to bring in Simon Knott, who is our betting guru at Wadebridge and throughout the season here in the Devon and Cornwall point-to-point area, analysing the runners and riders for the first race and indeed what the betting is. So, Simon, what have we got betting-wise this afternoon? We've got, what, half a dozen bookmakers?
Undercover if the weather comes in inclement. In this first race, they put up Point-To-Point at bottle on 1 to 2, odds on 1 to 2. 3-figure bets came flying in for that. It's now 3 on, so that's the only one so far the punters wanted to back in the early skirmishes. And Cloudy Music is highs 5 to 2 and Potter's Approach 6 to 1. All the money for Point-To-Point. They're trying to track money for the other two now to balance their books again.
And you will recall Point-To-Point having been successful last spring. And I remember when Dean Summersby was interviewed on that particular day, he spoke very enthusiastically about the horse's prospects for the future. So clearly plenty is anticipated for that one today. Simon Knott will be keeping us in touch with betting throughout the afternoon and indeed throughout the season, because these live streams will continue. We planned to be at Buckfastleigh in 7 days' time, and then later on in the season we'll be at iconic point-to-point venues like Fleet Park and Cherrybrook and Trebudannon, right the way through to the end of the season in early June. So wherever you are, and this is the important thing, wherever you are in the United Kingdom and Ireland, in these islands or indeed around the world, you can keep in touch with Point-To-Points via that website I've mentioned already, pointingdc.co.uk. Right, let's bring Simon back in. I think we might have had a little bit of a technical issue there. So we need to just confirm, Simon, the betting and the betting news on this first race this afternoon.
Yeah, I should have done a bit of tic-tac there, really, because it was all silent. The story is Point-To-Point. The bookmakers put in a bottle on 1 to 2. 3-figure bets coming in for that one. There's not many punters there, but the ones that were quite happy to put hundreds of pounds on. So it's now 1 to 3. Point-To-Point's the hot 1 to 3 favourite. Cloudy Music is eyes 5 to 2, and Potter's Approach 6 to 1. But it's it's a race still.
And so just some quite chunky bets on Point-To-Point.
3-figure bets for Point-To-Point at bottle on 1 to 2. As soon as they priced it up, the punters thought that was value. In they went. So now the bookmakers have pushed the other two out, hoping to try and attract money for those two to balance their books a bit. Because at the moment they've got one big loser.
And roughly how many bookmakers? I think you did answer this before, but you answered in silence.
Well, I haven't actually counted them. I've got to be honest. It's about half a dozen.
Good. And they're undercover here.
Yep, they're undercover. So if it comes in like it did yesterday, they'll be okay.
Yeah, excellent. And you'll be okay as well.
I'll be okay too.
So we'll get Simon to keep us in touch with everything that is going on. Now, there's been a rather stern call for the horses to come to the paddock, and that's exactly what has happened. So let's pick up the runners for our first race this afternoon. And that one is Point-To-Point there with the white noseband, white feet as well. And Point-To-Point's a 7-year-old. Races for John Gardener and Torben Hughes, trained by Dean Summersby, qualified via the North Cornwall here, obviously. First visit to Wadebridge for this horse, but plenty of good quality form. Great to watch as well, mainly a front runner. Only defeat of late at Upcut Cross in May when behind Wes, Wilmer and Pencrace in an intermediate race. Well, the winner's won, is it 3 since? And that form is clearly pretty solid. So you've got Point-To-Point there, and just behind Point-To-Point, the grey is Cloudy Music for the Summersbys as well. 9-year-old grey mare by Cloudings. Charlotte Summersby owns and rides as well. Never really got into the intermediate race here on the 5th of December and was pulled up ultimately, well behind when pulled up. Has actually run well, though, over course and distance. Form figures over course and distance of 2-1-4-5 for the grey. Hopefully better can be expected. 3-time winner over the years, this horse. Lovely shots close up. Morning. And a cheery good morning as well from the attendant with Cloudy Music. And there's our third contender. And making it sound like Mastermind. There's our third contender. But this isn't Mastermind, this is the Hunt Members Race at Wadebridge, and you're getting some terrific shots of Potter's Approach. 11-year-old by Scorpion. Couple of point-to-points so far, and pulled up both times. And this horse, one of those was actually over the course and distance. Hasn't run for a bit. Ex-Irish point-to-pointer. Won what looks like a decent race at Dromahane in Ireland. Then had a spell with Warren Greatrex and then with Dan Skelton. Remember the horse winning a hurdle race at Stratford. Won a chase at Chepstow as well. But that was a bit of time ago now. And that is our third runner for this Moors of St Wenn Hunt Members Race. Delighted to say that Mark Dennis will once again be calling the action for us this afternoon. I imagine have some family interest as well. Brother Tim and Mother Jill both with entries here this afternoon. So 3 for our first race. There's Cloudy Music, the grey. And then that's Port O'Clock, really strong in the betting here. And then Potter's Approach. Just for colours wise, Port O'Clock. Don't know if we can. Yeah, there you can see Darren Edwards right in the middle with his back to us, masked. Those are the colours then of Port O'Clock. Don't move too quickly, camera, because we were just looking at the jockey's colours. And then you can see Cloudy Music. There, the blue with the lighter blue disc, and then the colours for Potter's Approach will be blue and white with a darker coloured cap. You can just see in the background behind the gentleman in the very smart red trousers. So just organising themselves, and the horses will be making their way to the start pretty shortly.
So very much grateful thanks to them for continued support, and the best turned out in this first race has been judged to be number 2, Cloudy Music.
So judges are the best turned out, like a grey, and in fact he looks terrific as well, Cloudy Music, and he's been awarded the prize for best turned out. So those of you following the action from around the country, around these islands, and indeed around the world, we have this network of cameras, so you'll be able to get really good shots. It's not just a case of looking at the runners in the distance. The technical team here, which does an extraordinary job, or our technical team, not actually the technical team of the Royal Cornwall Showground, but the technical team attached to the Devon and Cornwall point-to-point area does a great job. So there are remote cameras around the course to make certain you get the best possible view. There's Port O'Clock, there's Cloudy Music, and let's just hold that shot, and so we can just get a decent look here at Potter's Approach as well before we switch cameras, just to show off the toys that we've got to play with there. There's Potter's Approach just coming out as well. So if you're just with us for the first time this afternoon, the runners making their way to the starting point, and that is Port O'Clock there, leading Cloudy Music, both of those representing trainer Dean Summersby. And the news from the betting area, which is actually undercover at this particular venue, is that Port O'Clock has been extremely well supported. 3-1 on was the last bit of news that we had from the betting ring. Just want to add our thanks as well to those of you that got involved in the Christmas auction organised by the Devon and Cornwall point-to-point area. Many thousands of pounds raised. So thank you for those to those of you who bid, and thank you as well to those who were kind enough to give auction items. That's money that's not going to be going to line anyone's pocket. It's going to make certain that point-to-pointing in this area continues to flourish in many different ways, including by the live streams. So the start is over on the right of your picture. You see where that Land Rover is moving beyond there, and the first two just making their way to the starting point now. The betting seemed to be something of a feature of this race. The strength of Port-To-Clock as the runners arrive down at that starting point. The start some way away from the enclosures and in a chute. So in fact they only jumped the first fence once. And is Simon's here again. So does Port-To-Clock continue to be pretty strong in the betting?
Well, no one's asked around in the betting ring. It's a self-perpetuated bookmaker move. One bookmaker thought that 1 to 2 was too big a price, so he's backed it. The other bookmakers had a bit of a hedge, so basically his bookmakers betting amongst themselves. It made the price shorten. There's not an awful lot of business going on down there. It's still quite early.
Only
People
3
are
runners in the
around.
first race, yeah.
Yeah, and there's 8 bookmakers. I've did a count, so there's 8.
Right.
So you can bet 11 to 4 Cloudy Music, Port-To-Clock. One bookmaker's trying to get it in his book, 2 to 5, generally 1 to 3, and 7 to 1 Potter's Approach. But very little going on really, apart from the bookmakers betting with each other.
Excellent. So that is the situation as the horses arrive down at the starting point. Just to give you a sneak preview that in race 2, all 4 horses will be taking part. So all 4 have been declared, which is very good news. And yeah, the horses will be on their way fairly soon. As I say, Mark Dennis, the commentator here at Wadebridge this afternoon, does sterling work around Devon and Cornwall and will be keeping everyone informed. Good to see one of the riders taking part later in the day, having a little inspection there in the centre of your picture. I think that might be with someone wearing white breeches anyway, isn't it? But Potter's Approach, just having a look at that fence, and this race scheduled for 11:30, so we're just coming round towards 11:30 right now. Via that website I was talking about, pointingdc.co.uk, one of the things you can do is just find out all the details about the live stream that you can perhaps copy and paste and send on, or just bear in mind for the future. And we've got all those social media platforms, the Facebook there, Instagram, as you can see, Twitter too, #GoPointing. But that point-to-pointing website, www.pointingd for Devon, C for Cornwall, pointingdc.co.uk. Port-To-Clock is a horse that's something like the 2 to 5 favourite here today. Hasn't been to Wadebridge before. Whether or not that is relevant, but it's worth observing. And I just remember that enthusiasm when Port-To-Clock was successful last late spring, I think it was. How excited the trainer was for its prospects for the future. And I think he talked about, you can see Potter's Approach just being dismounted down at the starting point. I think that's for an adjustment of goggles as opposed to anything else, probably, or just sorting out the cap. So this is the North Cornwall fixture, and we are in geographically North Cornwall, not all that far from the coast. This Royal Cornwall Showground and the Devon and Cornwall Point-to-Point area, as always, very grateful to the managers of this showground for their support, and the North Cornwall Hunt as well, and the Cornwall Hunt Club, very grateful for the support that they get from the Royal Cornwall Showground. We're not terribly far from the coast, so it was a proper, for much of the south of England yesterday, probably much of the UK and indeed Ireland yesterday, it was a pretty stormy day. And I can tell you the waves are properly, it's pretty rough there today. We're reasonably sheltered, so it's not too windy here. But by the coast, it really is pretty windy as well. So I think adjustments that were being made there to Amy I think, to Amy rather than to the horse. Have they been completed? Was maybe a little bit of an... trying to see what's... I think she's about to get back up on board. That's good. So this race will be off and running fairly shortly. So that one, there's a lot of blue amongst the colours there. That's Potter's Approach with the darker coloured cap. The grey horse is Cloudy Music, and the very light colours are Port O'Clock. Riders-wise, Charlotte Summersby on Cloudy Music. Port O'Clock with Darren Edwards. Darren, leading rider in these parts, and a prominent figure in the riding ranks in these parts for many, many years. He's on Port O'Clock, and then Porter's Approach with Amy Benelek. Right, I think we're about ready to go. Flags are raised, and it's Mark Dennis describing the action for us this afternoon.
So flag is down then. So 3 runners and riders jump away from the start then for our first race of the 6 this afternoon. This is the members' race, and they take on the first of their 18 fences. They've all safely negotiated that and race on quickly to fence number 2. So it's Port O'Clock with the advantage. You're around about 2 lengths clear then of Cloudy Music. The grey back in second on the inside, and another length then back to Potter's Approach, the back marker, as they race on to fences 3 and 4. As they come to it now, Port O'Clock jumped that nicely out in front for Darren Edwards. Darren taking the first of his 5 rides today, so fairly busy. Cloudy Music back on the inside in second, partnered by Charlotte Summersby, and 2 lengths then back to Amy Benelek on Potter's Approach, the back marker of the 3, as they pass the post then with 2 full circuits ahead of them to race, and they race on up then to the open ditch for the first of 2 times. So Port O'Clock takes them up towards it. Not a great pace on in the very early stages for this members race, as you'd imagine. Only 3 runners, so tactics are going to play a little more of a role. So they've taken the ditch safely and race on then to another plain fence. Port O'Clock still with the lead, still around about 2 lengths clear of Cloudy Music. Potter's Approach just give them a shake of the reins on landing after that by Amy Benelek. So they race away then up to the top end of the course for the first time, and around the bend. Cloudy Music was 11-4, Port O'Clock was 3-1 on, and Potter's Approach was the outsider at 13-2, 6-1 in some places. So they're on the run down the back straight now and on towards the solitary plain fence. So Port O'Clock takes them towards it in the white colours with the sheepskin noseband. Jumps it well enough. Cloudy Music, the grey on the inside, joined now by Potter's Approach on his outside, as they race along the level then and prepare then to make this big descent down over the hill here at Wadebridge. As they do so, Port O'Clock points his toe nicely with his ears pricked as he begins the descent down over the hill. Still around about 2, maybe 3 lengths then to Cloudy Music and Potter's Approach. Potter's Approach a little bit wider out on the course from Cloudy Music, and they continue then on the descent before they go up the far side and take another plain fence, almost completing their first circuit. So Port O'Clock comes to it now, and again he jumps and measures that nicely. Now races left-handed to race on then to the cross fence. Port O'Clock by about 3 lengths to Cloudy Music, and Potter's Approach still the back marker, but only by about less than half a length as they arrive at the bottom of the home straight then for the second time, and on towards these 2 plain fences in quick succession. Port O'Clock then on to the next. This will be the final fence in a circuit's time. So Port O'Clock, Cloudy Music and Potter's Approach, much as they have been from flagfall. As they pass the judge then, they've got a full circuit ahead of them to race. Darren Edwards has a look over his shoulder to make an assessment of where his dangers may be coming from, and he's got a 3-length advantage then as they race up to the open ditch for the final time. So Porter Clock and Potter's Approach may just now have sneaked into second from Cloudy Music on the inside. So this is the ditch then. Porter Clock, he kicked into it, jumps it nicely, and got away from it well. Darren Edwards just looking to pick up the tempo as they approach the next, and Porter Clock did miss that one and didn't land very tidily. But, they race on then up to the top end of the course. Porter Clock around about 2 lengths clear then from Cloudy Music. Charlotte Summersby in the slipstream of the leader. Potter's Approach continues about a half length down in third as they begin their run down the back straight then for the final time. And a plain fence arrives on the horizon. So Porter Clock with the white colours just ran down the fence there slightly out to the left. It continues around about 2.5 lengths clear of Potter's Approach and Cloudy Music as they race along the level now. So Porter Clock just increases his lead to around about 4, maybe 5 lengths then as they reach the cusp of the hill and begin the descent down over them. Porter Clock, Cloudy Music now up to within about 3 lengths of the leader. Potter's Approach half length down in third as they race inside the final half circuit now. They've almost completed the descent. Four fences remain. So Porter Clock, he's yet to see a rival at the moment, led from Flagfall and set a decent gallop. So that was 4 out then. Porter Clock out over it. Now Potter's Approach begins a run up on the outside of Cloudy Music. Just a little bit tap for toe there. So this is 3 from home then. Porter Clock jumped that well. Potter's Approach, Cloudy Music still about 4 lengths behind in second and third as they round the turn then and race towards the second last. Porter Clock, as I've said, yet to see a rival. Jumps out a length clear. Switch to the inside now. Cloudy Music. Potter's Approach on the outside, a half length down. Now they settle down to sort it out on the run up the hill then. Porter Clock challenged by Potter's Approach. Porter Clock pulls out a little bit more. Potter's Approach switches to the inside and is finishing with a rattle. The judge will have to split those, but I think Porter Clock's probably prevailed from Potter's Approach, and Cloudy Music back in 3.
So there's our winner. Just, if we can swing the camera, there we are, with the noseband there. Just a little bit, probably, more a race than perhaps anyone anticipated. Runner-up Potter's Approach has run an absolute screamer in second place. But victory to that fella, Porter Clock. So those the scenes in our winners enclosure, and let's have another look and just see. There's Cloudy Music coming back as well. Let's just relive these closing stages. So Porter Clock, who's been in front throughout, very light colours there, and another good leap at that one. But just look at the way Potter's Approach with the black cap, dark coloured cap, is just keeping tabs on Porter Clock. Good leap there from And the jockey just looking round, I think Darren can probably sense that although he's in front, here's 3 out, here's 2 out, that there is a bit of danger. And Potter's Approach is only a length down there. And now at this point, I don't know what you thought, but I thought, my goodness, we could be about to have an upset. Now, as it turns out, Porter Clock has been able to assert again. But look at Potter's Approach. It was a really good run from Potter's Approach in second place there. But Porter Clock follows up that success at Treble last year. Another win for the Summersby team. And beat Crown of Thorns at Treble in April. And then went to Upcott in May, finished third. But the same before the race, Wes Wilmer won that easily. And Porter Clock was well beaten on that occasion. But I was just struck that, that wasn't probably a bad race, but just struck how enthusiastic Dean was when the horse won at Treble. And, he's followed up here, and he could be just a good fun horse. He's won the Moors of St. Wenn Hunt members race. Just the 3 took part. 3 came home, and Porter Clock came home in front of Potter's Approach, but not as far perhaps in front as some people anticipated, with Cloudy Music in third place. Simon Knott's here keeping us in touch with everything that's going on in the betting ring. Have we got starting prices?
Yeah, they've returned it 4-9 in the end after that early money from the bookmakers. There was nothing much public. 11-4 Cloudy Music and 13-2 Potter's Approach.
So when Potter's Approach threw down quite a challenge in the closing stages, there would have been 1 or 2 bookmakers just getting a tiny bit excited. Yeah,
the one that laid the bigger bet early on would have been getting a little bit hopeful, but it was not to be.
No, excellent. So just confirm 9-4 on.
Yes.
9-4 on our first winner this afternoon. So those are the scenes here at Wadebridge after the first of our 6 races this afternoon. And I think we can talk in just a second to the winning trainer, Dean Summersby. And Dean's going to come and join us over here after the success of Porter Clock. Well,
morning,
yeah, nice to see you, and always nice to have a winner locally.
Yeah, definitely, always nice to get off the mark and get the ball rolling for the season. Porter Clock's a nice horse, and it'd been disappointing if he didn't win it.
But you had a tiny bit of a scare, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. He went a nice sort of steady gallop, and I think Darren probably had it fairly much under control, and it was a nice little start for him because he can be a bit of a handful for sometimes. And to be honest, we put him in this race because we thought that would be a nice steady run round for him, and then hopefully in 2 or 3 weeks' time we better find somewhere.
So what will you be looking for?
I'd be an intermediate somewhere really, and try to qualify him for a final if we can. There's no rush, but see how he comes out of this, but all should be well. And equally, it was a nice spin round for Cloudy Music, really. She disappointed last time down here, and more ground today. It was a nice race.
So she'll progress, will she?
Yeah, well, hopefully. Yeah. She'll probably have some blinkers on next time, but it was a nice run for all 3 of them, I think, really.
Absolutely.
I think it was a perfect race for them.
And Porter Clock, when Porter Clock won at Treble, I remember your enthusiasm for this horse for the future.
Yeah, he's a very nice horse. He's a lovely horse. He just needs to sort of learn to settle a bit more, but it's nice to sort of support these members' races, and if we don't support them, we're going to lose them. And it's a shame that we had 2 runners in a 3-horse race, but we could do with a few more people supporting these races, because it's nice for these horses, ones that have lost their way or ones that have been a bit of a handful. You put them in 11, 12, 13 runner races, and you've got a job with them. You put them in a nice little race like this.
And the confidence
building. Confidence, and horses that have come off the track and lost their way a bit. But if we don't get supporting them, we're going to lose these members' races.
Yeah. So keep banging that drum.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And how many will you have for the season?
We got 14 altogether. We got 3 more later on today. 2 maidens and a restricted. So hopefully we'll get going now. Get going.
And how far away, for those for people viewing from afar, how far away are you from Wadebridge?
It's just under an hour for us.
Right. So
yeah,
it's not exactly on the doorstep, but not
no,
too
it's
far.
not exactly on the doorstep, but it's nice and easy to get to, and I quite like it down here, really.
It's great. It's great. Super. Well done.
Ideal. Thank you very much.
Lovely to chat. And I'll tell you what. While we're at it, thanks to Dean. We were talking about Potter's approach there, running a cracker in second place, and Amy's here. Amy Benelick, who rode. I thought over the second last, I thought we could be in for rather an upset here.
Yeah, I know. It's only my fourth ride ever.
Right.
So Pat just said she was the first lady that gave me her first 2 rides last year, and there's another horse today, and she just said, see what he's like. It's the first run of the season, but we knew Darren's horse, Port-To-Clock's good, so stayed back a bit from him and then till we've got the end. But yeah, it was closer than what I thought, so I was delighted.
Well, between 3 out and 2 out, I thought, my goodness, and I think Darren thought, my goodness, as well, when he
was looking
took
behind,
a quick look round, didn't he?
I think I've got a bit left going down the hill, but you never know, do you, till you're coming up the hill. So I've never really, the first 2 rides, Elle was really good, a good schoolmaster for me, and then I just bought my own horse at the end of last season, so I had my first ride on him at Wadebridge last time, but I've never
Remind me
really
what that's
got
called?
this break.
Right, oh yes, absolutely.
So it's the first.
Is that going to run later on?
No, I'm going to take him Buckfastly.
Right.
So I just thought today's the first time I actually got to practice riding a finish. So it's all improvements, but yeah, I love it. It's really good fun.
So what's it like riding a finish?
No, it's nice. I've been doing lots of work, and I work for Jackie Duplessis, so
She's going well at the moment, isn't
yeah,
she?
really well. So I have lots of fun, and I keep my fitness up for riding through her. So yeah, it's good fun.
And that was your 4th ride?
Yeah, my 4th ride ever.
And do you feel from ride 1 to ride 4 that you...
Oh God, yeah. First ride, I just can't describe it. It doesn't matter what people tell you. The adrenaline rush, I just couldn't remember the whole thing. But now, you're breathing and you're taking it all in more, and you can actually enjoy it a bit more for what it is. But yeah, I love it.
So that's your only ride today?
No, I've got one for Jackie later. She's running one later in the maiden, the last race.
Right.
And he's the one that I've ridden. Well, I broke him in at Jackie's, so.
Just remind me his name.
Botus Fleming.
Oh yeah.
So it'll be really fun to ride him later. One that I've broke in and done all the work with. See how he goes. It'll be a bit of fun.
I'm loving your enthusiasm, your smile on your face.
No, I love it. So good.
Excellent. And we'll see you at Buckfastly in a week's time as well.
Yeah, hopefully with my boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fingers
Excellent.
crossed.
Well, look, well done.
Thank you.
And I'm sure race 5, later on will be even better.
Yeah. Thank you.
Excellent. Super. Lovely to see Amy this afternoon. And that Potter's Approach did run a really good race in the 2nd position there. So although it's probably right that Port-To-Clock always had the race pretty much under control, the fact is that Potter's Approach just wants to be kept an eye on at his level. And a really good example of a horse that was in a couple of big stables. I think Warren Greattrex and Dan Skelton, and that didn't suit him for one reason or another. But in a race like that, ridden by an enthusiastic rider like Amy, that's just the absolute perfect future destination for a horse like that. So that's your race 1. The 9-4 on favourite Port-To-Clock has beaten Potter's Approach, and we are approaching race 2 on the card here this afternoon. I think we can have a look at the runners and riders for this race right now. Here we are. So Broadclyst, there, number 1 with Anna Johnston. Lauren Reid, it's been going really well, Lauren, hasn't she? On number 2, Eric the Third. Field Exhibition and Mix Boy for the Dixons, making up that party of 4 for the PPORA Club Members Conditions Race Level 2. And this one sponsored by Roy Davis Food. So thanks to that organisation for their support of this race. We'll be expecting horses in the paddock in a few moments' time. Presentations just being completed to Darren Edwards and to the Summersbys, etc. But loving that shot. So that, just stick with that shot for a second. That is looking down the home straight here, and that is a camera mounted for the Devon and Cornwall point-to-point area on a pole, and it's one of three remote cameras, I think, that we have here this afternoon. That's looking at the second last and the last obstacle. And then the great thing is, and I wonder whether the person who's controlling it can just move it slightly, that it will actually move in various. Oh, that's actually Jeff's code. Can we have a look at the? Sorry, is actually that's a static camera, but this is having a good look at the Cornish countryside there. This is one of our robotic cameras, and hopefully, if the robot will do it, it'll move. And yeah, as if by magic. Thank you very much. Thanks, robot. That, in fact, let's try and centre on one of the obstacles as well, so we can get a real look, at what it can do. So that is all being done remotely. It's on a pole, and it's looking at the track here at Wadebridge, and thanks to Jeff, who was in charge of that other camera, which isn't remote, but can bring us some good pictures. Now, talking of remote cameras, we can switch to the remote camera, which is looking at the horses appearing in the paddock for our second race this afternoon. This then the Roy Davis Food PPORA Club members conditions race for novice riders. Have we got an idea of betting for race 2? Let's just bring Simon in before we look at all four go in this race. And what's the betting?
Yeah, there's a lot more people in front of the bookmakers for this race. At the moment, they bet even money Broadclist, 7-4 Eric III, 4-1 Field Exhibition, and you can get 8-1 Mixed Boy. But there's not a lot going on at the moment, but there's still plenty of people in front of the bookies.
So that's the betting then for our second race. And let's try and find Broadclist, our even money favourite, number 1 here today. So just going through our picture, there is Eric III, and there we have the grey horse is Mixed Boy. But here he is. Plenty of people fancy this here today, Broadclist. And let's see if we can well, we'll pick him up again in a second. Here's Mixed Boy just going through. But the one in front of these two is Broadclist. Let's stick with him. He's a 10-year-old. He's by Ask, trained by Les Jefford, qualified via the East Devon Hunt in the colours of Mrs. Trump in a second when you see the rider. 2 runs already this season, both times third, most recently beaten 7 lengths by Voix d'Envoi and Post No Bills in the intermediate race here over the course and distance just before Christmas. Previous third looks decent form. Beaten 6 lengths and 3 lengths by Moratorium, who can't stop winning at the moment. That was at Dunsmore. It's done well at the course in the past when won the maiden race here a few years ago now. The restricted a couple of years ago as well at this fixture. And was second in the Men's Open in December 2018. Plenty of rules runs as well for Broadclist. And a rider this afternoon in those dark colours, and you can see as we look at the horses in the paddock, you can see the signal has been Anna Johnson just about to get on board. So that's a clear and strong favourite, but all right, she's up good. And just going through our picture there was Field Exhibition with Gabriella Herbert. And you're just about to see as well Eric the Third. There's Eric. Good old Eric. Love a bit of Eric. And Lauren Reid just asking for permission to take another circuit of the paddock. So we've got 3 female jockeys in this, just the one male. Tom Dixon on Mixed Boy. Grey horse would be easy to spot during the race. Very dark headgear on board as well. And that there is Eric the Third. So we'll switch cameras in a few moments' time, and we'll be having a look at the runners making their way actually to the start in a second. That's Eric the Third. There's Mixed Boy over there. Bookmakers, I think we said there were 8 bookmakers here this afternoon. I think we've got an opportunity. Have we just... oh, look. That is Dick Oliver's here and Bob Pittard is here. Some of the other guys in action as well. G&T Williams here this afternoon too. And that is the betting from Simon James Racing there. Has Broad Clisters odds-on favourite ahead of Eric the Third, and then Field Exhibition. Mr. Buckingham enjoying the camera there. And that one's on the end. So the bookmakers here is a bit like racing at Doncaster. If you've ever raced under rules at Doncaster at this time of the year, they can go undercover, or when the weather's pretty bad, and they can go undercover here as well. So horses making their way down towards the starting point. There's another look at Eric the Third. Eric the Third is a 13-year-old trained by John Hurd, qualified via the Eggersford Hunt, owned by a syndicate of owners, this popular old veteran. You can't be an old veteran, you're either a veteran or not a veteran, aren't you? So he's a popular veteran. Eric the Third looked as though he'd likely come on for his first run of the season when last of the 5 finishers in a veteran and novice riders race won by Moratorium here in December. Lauren Reid back in the saddle. She's having a great time at the moment, Lauren. Another winner at Lark Hill. This horse had a busy time last season, but not a bad time at all. 4th in the Men's Open at Cherrybrook. Decent, and won at Trebudan in a conditions race as well. A couple of good late season efforts at Upcut and Bratton Down. There's Mixed Boy, the 12-year-old grey, by Fragrant Mix. Owned and trained by Mel Dixon, qualified via the East Devon. Ran with credit a couple of times last season and went runner-up at Cottlestone, and showing up quite well in a hot Men's Open at the final Bratton Down as well. Started off this season. See that Mixed Boy's had 1 run so far this season, finished 5th, not beaten all that far, and entitled to come on for the run after 5 months off. That was in November at Badbury, a race won by Wes Wilmer. Mixed Boy hasn't run since then. So there is Mixed Boy in the vast expanse of the Wadebridge point-to-point course, making his way to the starting point. I think in the official... Oh, there's Eric the Third, so Eric's still got to go down as well. I think in the sort of official handbooks, etc., the shape of the race course is described as a dumbbell. Never quite know what a dumbbell is, to be honest, but it's long and thin. It's a wonky eclair, is how I might have described it. And if you've got an eclair, then the bottom of one side is where we are, where the main cameras are, where the spectators are, and then right over on our left-hand side towards the far side of the eclair is where they start the races. So they jump one, then they come up the straight, past the finishing line, do it again, and what did they jump, 18? So Mixed Boy is down there. I haven't mentioned Field Exhibition, who's down there as well. 12-year-old mare, trained by Ed Walker, qualified via the Cottesmore, and the jockey runs a partnership which owns this horse. Finished a place in front of Eric the Third when 4th in the veteran novice riders race here in December. Ran well, showing up well for much of the race, just tiring late on. That was a better effort and showed plenty of promise. First run for the Walkers. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see that horse run another decent race today. get an update on the betting shortly, but it is Broadclist that is the clear favourite for this one. Just don't think Eric III has reached the starting point just yet, has he? So that's just, well, there's no hold up, but that's what we're just waiting for. This race scheduled for 2:05, so in fact they're not scheduled to race for another 3 minutes or so. By any chance you missed the first race this afternoon, or the first race this morning, it was won by Porter Clock. It was at 11 o'clock 30, and it was won by Porter Clock, but the runner-up ran a particularly good race. Let's bring Simon in with an update on the betting as the horses circle down, or the three that are at the start circle down there. So Broadclist, Simon, which is the one with the dark colours and the white chevron there in the middle of the picture, trained by Les Jefford, was quite a popular choice earlier on. What's the latest?
Yeah, he's odds on 5 to 4 on generally. It's really interesting down there because it's probably the last place where you get an old-fashioned betting ring with no exchanges to guide the bookmakers. So their prices are dependent on what they've taken. So you can shop around and
so
get
it's a genuine betting market.
Yeah, genuine betting market. Yeah, so it depends on who's laid what prices are. So it's fascinating down there, really.
So what have we got?
We got even money in probably places Broadclist, but generally 5 to 4 on. You can get 6 to 4, 7 to 4 Eric III, 9 to 2 Field Exhibition, and 8 to 1 Mixed Boy. But shop around, you'll get some great value.
And I love those shots of the bookmakers. I think they were rather enjoying their little moment in the sun.
Yeah, they're all a good bunch down there.
Right, and there's Eric arriving down at the starting point. It's just on the left-hand side of the picture. We're about to emerge. There he is, Eric III. So the grey horse Mixed Boy, the chevrons, or the chevron of Broadclist, the very maroon, the quite different colours to all the rest, the maroon and the gold hoops of Eric III, and pretty dark colours of Field Exhibition as well. So we're pretty much at post time. This the Roy Davis Food PPORA Club Members Conditions Race for novice riders. So worth repeating that it's Anna Johnston on Broadclist, Eric III with Lauren Reid, Gabriella Herbert, and Field Exhibition and Mixed Boy ridden by Tom Dixon. So those are 4 on what's a grey, quite chilly, well, it's January, isn't it? But sort of typical January day, happily dry. Just looking at in the distance at potential weather. I think to our east it's looking a little bit less clement than it is here, but we are dry and grey, quite soft ground, but stormy day here yesterday. But what's well known about Wadebridge, or what's famous about Wadebridge, everyone who rides here talks about the fact that it's such a good draining track. A little bit wetter down the far side of the track, I think, rather than this side. Looks as though the starter is just about ready for them. So can Broadclist win this one with Anna Johnston, or will it be Eric III, the 13-year-old, or one of the 12-year-olds? Field Exhibition, the mount of Gabriella Herbert, or Mixed Boy and Tom Dixon. So the starter raises his flag, and Mark Dennis is going to describe it for us.
So flag goes down then, so they're away, and 4 jump away from the start then, and make their way on towards the first of their 18 fences in this PPORA members conditions race. They're all over the first safely, and Eric III leads the charge on to fence number 2, joined on the outside by Field Exhibition over that, and Broadclist is run on the inside, just disputing second now. Mixed Boy is the one that's just slightly detached from the three leaders as they take fence number 3. Mixed Boy comes to it now, jumps it well enough under Tom Dixon as they take on the next then. 3 in a line in the air together over that, and Field Exhibition and Gabby Herbert with the advantage, a couple of lengths clear now of Eric III. Broadclist just sat back on the inside, another length back in 3, and then they're around about a dozen, maybe 15 lengths clear then of Mixed Boy as they race up then. Got a decent gallop being set away from the start. Field Exhibition decided to inject a bit more pace and is on the way up then to the open ditch. This is the ditch for the first time, and the leader, Field Exhibition, jumps it really well. Mixed Boy just comes to it now, is over that safely, and continue their journey on to another plain fence, and they stream out over it. Mixed Boy jumps it now and he's over safely, so they've safely negotiated the home straight for the first time, and Field Exhibition been ridden very confidently. It's gone around about 4 or 5 lengths clear now of Eric III and Broadclist, and about a dozen lengths then back to Mixed Boy as they're on the journey down the back straight now and on towards a plain fence, a solitary plain fence in the back straight. Leader comes to it and jumps it really well. Field Exhibition 9-2 with the bookmakers. Broadclist the 5-4 on favourite. Eric III is 6-4, and Mixed Boy is the outsider at 8-1. So they're on the level then. Field Exhibition and Gabby Herbert lead the charge into the descent then, and they're well clear now. They've gone 20 lengths clear of Eric III. Broadclist back in 3. Mixed Boy's reduced the deficit slightly and is up to within about 5 lengths of the second and third placed horses, Eric III and Broadclist. But Field Exhibition's completed the descent then and is racing up the far side and on towards another plain fence up the side of the course. Jumps that well enough, but just pecked slightly on landing, just checked his stride, and he's just slowed a little bit as he races on to the cross fence. One circuit complete then in this conditions race. Jumps out okay. Eric III over in second on the inside of Broadclist. Mixed Boy about 8, maybe 10 lengths back in 4th as the back marker, as the leader then takes the first of these 2 plain fences before the winning post. Comes to the next, jumps out pretty well, but his lead has been reduced somewhat. The Eric III is up to in about 8 lengths of the leader now. Broadclist travels nicely on the inside for Anna Johnson. Anna Johnson based up in North Devon with Nick Williams, and having a 4th ride here today. Still looking for the elusive first winner. So Gabby Herbert on Field Exhibition leads them up to the open ditch then for the second and final time. They're inside the final circuit here for this conditions race. This is the ditch then for the leader. Jumps that well enough. Broadclist and Eric III over in 2 and 3. Mixed Boy is 4 as they continue their journey up the home straight then. The leader takes the next plain fence, jumps it really well, and again they're all safely over that, and continue then to climb to the top end of the course. So Field Exhibition and Gabby Herbert, they've got around about 8 lengths clear of Broadclist now. It just shows in second from Eric III. Mixed Boy just being ridden now for a few strides by Tom Dixon as they run down the back straight then and on towards this plain fence. So the leader just coming to it now. Gabby Herbert on Field Exhibition, out over it safely. Eric III on the outside of Broadclist, and Mixed Boy back in 4. So they're all bunching up now. They were around about 20, maybe 30 lengths adrift first from last, but now there's no more than about 8 or maybe 10 lengths between them as they race into the final half circuit now in this conditions race. So Field Exhibition appears just to have got a second wind and looks to be travelling quite sweetly out in front now from Broadclist and Eric III. And Mixed Boy now driven back in 4th, so they've almost completed the descent now, and prepare then to race up the hill to the plain fence. So Field Exhibition has set a decent gallop so far, jumps up pretty well, but Broadcliff now jumps up to within a length of the lead, and as they race on then to the cross fence, so Field Exhibition length and a half clear of Broadcliff. Eric the third back in 3, and Mixed Boy is 4. They round the turn then and race into the home straight. So Broadcliff on to the second last on the inside of Field Exhibition. Broadcliff taken over now and goes up by a length to Field Exhibition. Eric the third back in 3. So they've jumped the last end, and now they settle down to sort it out on the run up the hill, and Broadcliff has asserted, gone about 2-3 miles clear, but he's tying up in front. Field Exhibition back on terms on the outside. These two have it between them. Judge will have to split them from Eric the third. Mixed Boys back in 4th.
Well, that
So I have the judges' preliminary results.
is close, but the judge just confirming it.
Second. Broadcliff. Second place, number 3, Field Exhibition. In third place, number 2, Eric.
So it was close, but it's Broadcliff that has come out on top. But that Field Exhibition has run a cracking race in second, just going past our little awning there. And there's our winner. The dark colours with the white chevron has just beaten the other dark colours, number 3 there, of Field Exhibition. But it's Broadcliff that's come out on top. And no real surprise. Well, the bookmakers were pretty confident. There's a lot of noise and excitement in the winners' enclosure as well. And this Broadcliff, racing for Mrs. Trump, Les Jefford training, qualified via the East Devon, and Les looking absolutely delighted as well at that success. That's him, I think, with the beanie on and the rug over his shoulder. So there's our winner. Great shot, that. Love that. That's one of our remote cameras here. Just having a look. But big run from Field Exhibition there. Just being unsaddled by Gabby there. Tell you that in the next race here, the mixed open, they all go bar 2. So we'll confirm the runners and riders in full in a second. But the 2 that have come out of Singapore, Saga and Semangan, they don't run, but the other 7 all do take part in our next race. And there is a very proud Anna Johnson. Just, and well, there's her horse. But Anna, very happy with that success, I'm sure. And just about to give the debrief to the owner. And yeah, good result all round. I think we might relive it, might we? Just have a look at the closing stages of the race again. So here they are, continuing down the far side of the track, and in front is Field Exhibition, and given a really enterprising ride by Gabby Herbert. Gets over that one well, but as you can see, the favourite Broadcliff has got the horse well in touch. Eric the third in third place at this stage, but now here's 3 out, and that's, well, you wouldn't really want to to split them at that point, would you? So 2 to jump. You've got Broadclist, the favourite, on the inside. I think probably relishing conditions, but Field Exhibition just gets a little bit of encouragement there. Broadclist, you think maybe that one's going to go on now. It's probably jumped the last half a length in front, but a little bit lonely perhaps out in front, and a driving finish from Gabby Herbert on Field Exhibition means that they're getting, it becomes much, much closer, and they hit the line very much together. So we're going to hear, I think, from, and there's Mixed Boy just finishing in the background there. We'll hear from some of those involved in just a few moments' time. Simon's here just with starting prices. I think, have you, Simon, for this race?
Yes, Broadclist returned even money and Field Exhibition 4 to 1.
So even money and 4 to 1 the starting prices. Tom Dixon just going through the picture there to go back and weigh in, but that's the delighted winning team, and it really is a delighted winning team after that. But that Field Exhibition, trained by Ed Walker now, and certainly is looking as though he's a horse that's, or she's a horse even, Field Exhibition, that she's a horse that will be winning. Hasn't been with Ed for all that long. I think we're going to have a quick word with Gabby Herbert first of all. Well done. I thought you'd done it, and I thought you were going to do it, and then you've just got the favourites done you in the end.
Yeah, well, she thought she did a good. She tried. She's very genuine, so.
Isn't she just?
Yeah, she is.
And on that run-in, you must have thought, oh, we can. Maybe we're going to claim this.
I think maybe another half a furlong or something like that, and maybe I'd have.
Get nice and close to the mic, Debbie, so we can hear you.
Yeah, maybe a little bit further, and I might have got there, but she took a bit of a keen hold quite early on, and I think maybe didn't save quite enough for the end.
A bit keen, but you gave the horse an enterprising ride as well, I think.
I just have to let go and go with her, really. She tends to dictate stuff, but she knows what she's doing. So. And
is this a horse you've had a long time?
No, well, I've had probably about 5 rides on her.
Right.
We got her from Doncaster the December before last, so had probably about half a season on her.
And she's
already.
with Ed now, isn't she?
Yeah, she's with Ed now, and I work there, so she's with me.
And certainly the 2 run. Is it 2 runs now for Ed?
Yeah.
And she's moving forward now, isn't she?
She is moving forward. The Harkins did a really good job of training her last season, but she had quite a hard autumn under rules in 2020, and she was pretty ropey, and I think it's the summer off that's done her the world of good. And Polly and Ed have been really helpful because she can be quite keen at home, so she can be quite tricky to train, but we've managed to run her fit, I think, eventually. So yeah.
And you work for them, do you?
Yeah. I work and live there, so she's sort of there with me, which is great.
And so you're going to hopefully she'll be out on the track again in 3 or 4 weeks' time?
Probably. I have to speak to Ed, I think. See if she's all right and everything, and then probably 2-3 weeks should be.
I think she'll be winning before too long. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Lovely to hear from Gabby Herbert, and also with us is Anna Johnston, who is hello. Come nice and close to the mic so we can hear you, and well done.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, did you know you from the various different angles, the commentator's angle, our angle, we weren't absolutely certain.
Yeah.
That was quite a finish in the end.
Yeah, it turned out to be quite a close one. I mean, he's an older horse, so he doesn't do any more than he needs to. But yeah, got to the saw the horse's head coming up sides and rallied on again and got to the line, and I thought I had it, so I'm glad. Yeah. I'm glad I was right.
Yeah, well, absolutely, and he seemed to sort of relish the whole challenge here today.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, it was set up pretty perfectly for him to have Eric III upsides him, sort of keep him going the whole way around, and his jumping was class. He got to the first and absolutely winged it, so I knew the horse was in good order. And I mean, Les has them in great form at home and things. So yeah, I thought I was in with a chance if our luck came right. So I'm glad I did.
And tell us what winning is like on these occasions.
Fantastic. It was my first win.
Yeah.
So it was my first win on pointing. So yeah, very, very pleased.
And you're going to be riding at Doncaster next week?
Yes. On Tuesday. So I've got after the Fox for my boss Jane Williams.
Right.
In an amateur's race there. So we can continue the good luck. That would be fantastic.
Excellent. I think they want to give you a trophy, so we must let you go. But lovely to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
Lovely to see the success there of Broadclist. Anna Johnson, and before her Gabby Herbert with us on this live feed. We are live from Wadebridge Racecourse in North Cornwall. Had a couple of messages saying, you know, where in Cornwall are you talking about? Well, Wadebridge is probably about an hour further on from Exeter in Devon. So we're quite a long way down Cornwall, but not as far as Trevi-Dannon, where we'll be broadcasting a little bit later on in the year, which is nearer to Newquay. So only just sort of over there, there'll be some waves crashing on beaches. Only 4 or 5 miles away. It's pretty close to the coast. And they had quite a stormy day yesterday. The ground is quite soft, but it's a good draining track here at Wadebridge. So everyone pretty happy with the state of conditions as far as today is concerned. I think wherever we are were in the United Kingdom or indeed Ireland yesterday, it was quite a stormy old day, and certainly that applied here as well. We'd have had to, if there was racing yesterday, we'd have had to batten down the hatches, but happily it's a Sunday fixture and the weather that much better. And we've had 2 races so far. We've had success for the favourites in the first 2 races of the day. Broadclist in that novice riders race, giving Anna Johnston her first success. Les Jefford, the trainer of Broadclist, which was the even money winner. And then the odds-on winner of our first race was Port-To-Clock. No novice rider on Port-To-Clock's back. It was Darren Edwards who was successful leading rider in these parts. So Port-To-Clock in race 1 and race 2 Broadclist. So what about race 3? A chance, I think, to look at the runners and riders for this particular race. It looks good. It's a mixed open, and I like these mixed opens. And there are some weight news to give you in a second, but it's the Kivels mixed open. And of the 9 entries, we have got 7 of them taking part. So number 1, Freelia. Be looking out for Freelia, Bradley Gibbs. Then number 2, I think there should be no debate about the pronunciation of this horse's name, Fufu. There used to be a horse called Foo's Lady, but some people, was it Foo's Lady or Fu's Lady? But I think we'll stick to Fufu for Natalie Parker's mount, number 2. Number 3, Nikki Steele. And that one is ridden by Anna Highlands. Then 4, Kinto with Holly-Ann Drown on board. Quite by chance, one here the other day. And that won the mount of Lauren Reid. And then we've got Darren Edwards again on Sykes, which won here the other day as well. Won the Open for the Bradley Partnership. And then Win Tour with Chloe Emsley on board. And that one owned by that excellent group of owners, the Group of Otters Partnership. So good to see a number of partnerships here. The Bradley Partnership, the Group of Otters Partnership, and indeed the Baguettes Club with Fufu. They then are runners. Oh, weight-wise, let's just give you the weights have been adjusted here, I've been told. So Kinto, it's 11 stone 2, and quite by chance 11 stone 5. Apparently those that's coming through from the officials area. So Freelia, Fufu, Nikki Steele, Kinto, quite by chance, Sykes and Win Tour. And the first of those horses is emerging into the paddock now. So an opportunity to see them in just a moment or two's time. As a little bit of rain just falls. I think it was rain that we were half expecting, because it looks as though there are quite a lot of rain not too far away. Well, we'll pick up, there's Win Tour has just gone through the picture. Pick up these horses. Just need to confirm some numbers. And that one there is looks great actually, and that's Fufu. And just going through the picture there is Kinto. So not being helped actually by the. All right, we've got a few more numbers now. Anyway, we just need to get some betting as well. So because this looks like a competitive race, I imagine number 8 Sykes will be the one that is made favourite. And Sykes, if we stick, that is Sykes there, just coming into the picture. So let's try and pick up Sykes, who's just going the wrong way at the moment, but with the stripy rug on board is Sykes, who will come into the picture in just a moment or two's time. Good to see Sally Allner here today with Fufu. Right in the centre of your picture there. That's Kinto just going through there. Just about to see Fufu just coming into the picture. That's Fufu. And then following Fufu is Sykes. So if we can stick with this horse here that's just come in with the stripy blanket on board. Looking fantastic, Sykes. 13 years old, but this horse with the blanket on there. Just see the horse side on in just a second. Sykes, 13-year-old by Mountain High. Nicky Martin trains, qualified via the Dulverton Farmers. The Bradley partnership organised by the trainer. Ran 34 times under rules for Philip Hobbs. Won 6, I think, and raced at many of the top events. Made a very bright start to point-to-pointing, winning the Men's Open at the December fixture. Darren Edwards rode. They led 2/3 of the way through before keeping on really well. Looks like they can have a lot of fun with Sykes, and there is a good close-up. Well, that's Fufu, but let's now bring in the news of the betting from. Joining us here is Simon. Simon's done an interview as well with one of the bookmakers. We'll talk to them. To him in just a second, hear from him in just a second. But what have we got betting wise? This is the best betting race of the day.
Yeah, it looks like the punters have been waiting for a proper betting race. Sykes is the 5-4 favourite, but the money early doors has been for Singapore Saga. That's been 6-1 now, 4-1.
It's not Singapore Saga, it's a non-runner.
Oh.
Right, well, we'll confirm that. Let's confirm that in a second. As long as we know that our favourite is as anticipated. Well, I've certainly not been given Singapore Saga as a runner. So
Mangan's the non-runner. Singapore Saga runs.
Oh, does it? Right.
Number 7's the only one that doesn't go, as far as I know.
Right. So we might have just been given a bit of bad information here on the full runners. It sounds as though the only one that doesn't go in this race is Sir Mangan, but I wasn't. I was given number 6. In fact, Singapore Saga is here. That is Singapore Saga in the middle. So apologies there for the slight miscommunication. That is number 6 right in the centre of your picture. That's number 6, Singapore Saga, which does run. So let's just get the news. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, so Singapore Saga's the one they bet early, 6-1 into 7-2 now. Once again, like the last race, it's a very organic betting ring. If you shop around, there's lots of different prices for different horses. Going down the card, they go 5-1 Freelia, 7-1 Fufu, 10-1 Nikki Steele, 6 Quinto, 3 Quite by Chance, 7-2 Singapore Saga. Non-runner number 7, 5-4 Sykes, and 7-2 Wind Tour. But shop around, there's lots of different prices because it's all dependent on what the bookmakers have laid.
Super. Well, there is Singapore Saga in the picture there. Number 6, just at the back of that line of 4. Apologies for putting you away earlier on about Singapore Saga taking part. Not quite certain what happened there. but one way or another, we didn't get that information. I can see Darren Andrews there as well. So Singapore Saga, trained by John Hurd, qualified via the Eggersford, ran at the last fixture in the Men's Open. Had Freelia behind on that occasion. Solid start, formerly with Philip Hobbs. Won a handicap hurdle at Exeter in April when favourite. Has been inclined on occasions to hang quite badly, but Singapore Saga definitely has shown plenty of promise. And there we are with him. So we've had a look at Sykes, we've had a look at Singapore Saga. Where else have we got? That going through there, that's Quinto with the green rug. And then coming through here, there's you're about to see Nikki Steele. There's Nikki Steele going through with the green rug with the pink on it as well. And the next one that's going to emerge in just a second will be Quite By Chance. I want to have a look. There's Quite By Chance just going through. We'll go get a shot of Quite By Chance side on in just a moment. It's going to emerge from behind that gentleman's bowler hat there. So the front of those two is Quite By Chance, 13-year-old by Midnight Legend, trained by Stuart Sampson, qualified via the Eggersford. Provided Stuart with his 50th success, I think, and Lauren Reid with a memorable win, as Granville Taylor reported on the pointdc.co.uk website. This veteran, Quite By Chance, demonstrated that he retained his zest and showed a willing attitude. Had been fifth in the same race in 2020, and other bits and pieces of form as well. So there's Quite By Chance, and Lauren Reid going really well at the moment. So that's on the outside of those two. Just going through on the inside is Nikki Steele there. Tiny bit warm possibly. 12-year-old by Craig Steele, trained by Rob Channin. Anna Highlands is going to be riding this horse. I'll tell you what, I said a second ago that we can go back to the betting ring, and we can hear from one of the bookmakers.
Right, Dave, we've been waiting a while. It's been quite busy. How's it so far?
Yeah, it's been quiet so far, Simon, but this race has picked up. It's a very, very competitive race. We've got quite a hot favourite in Sykes, but there's quite a few challenges. I personally fancy Wintour, on his national hunt for. I think she's got a great chance. But there's money for Singapore Saga. That's been back from 6 into 5 to 2.
Thanks, Dave.
So that's a little bit of news from the betting ring, which is undercover here this afternoon, as we've heard. So horses in the paddock. The riders will be given the signal to mount up in just a few moments' time. So that's another side-on look at Sykes. Sykes in those familiar colours of the Bradley partnership, the maroon with the star. You can just see see Darren Edwards through some of the connections. There's Darren Andrews in the diamonds that will be carried by Singapore Saga. So just to confirm the runners here: number 1, Freelia with Bradley Gibbs; 2, Fufu, Natalie Parker; 3, Nikki Steele, Anna Highlands; 4, Quinto and Holly Ann Drown; 5, Quite By Chance and Lauren Reid; 6, Singapore Saga and Darren Andrews; 8, Sykes and Darren Edwards; and 9, Wintour, which is the mount of Chloe Emsley. That was Sykes just going through the picture. Wintour. That's Wintour. Let's stick with Wintour for a second. the blue rug with the red lining. Win Tour, 10-year-old mare by Midnight Legend, trained by Ed Walker for the Group of Otters partnership, organised by the trainer. Plenty of experience over the years, Win Tour. Course and distance winner in February 2020 when beating a couple of regulars here. Hasn't run in a point-to-point since a trip to Buckfastleigh a month later. But 7 runs under rules, trained by the trainer's wife, Polly Gundry. Ran some nice races. Certainly remember a nice race at Hereford, a nice race at Warwick, I think, maybe Fosslas. And the allowance that Win Tour has could just be pretty useful. So there's Singapore Saga coming through, and behind Singapore Saga there is Nikki Steele. On this side there, that's Fufu, which is one of the best turned out. Then Nikki Steele. There's Sykes in the familiar colours. The bright colours there, the red and the gold of Win Tour. So you're getting a close-up look at some of the contenders for this race. The signal for the horses to leave the enclosures and make their way out has now been made. Just coming through the picture there. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll pick up these horses as they make their way to the start. I think the first of the runners is Freelia, that's going to be coming out onto the racecourse with Bradley Gibbs. That's Win Tour. There's Sykes going through there. Good old Sykes. All right, just coming out. So coming out onto the track there is Freelia, the blue with the red stripe, Freelia. And Freelia has come from West Wales, qualified via the Carmarthenshire. David Gibbs trains, Glenn Fortin, the trainer own, made Wadebridge debut in December when galloping on well from the second last fence in the Men's Open, won by Sykes. Thought that was a pretty promising effort, especially as the horse hadn't run since May. Has won 7 point-to-points and a mare's Hunter Chase at Cheltenham as well a few years ago now when she was 6. And it was a memorable win that day by Freelia. She sort of took off through the closing stages and won by about a mile. It was 50 lengths or more. Hasn't won for a bit, but went well through May, finishing 4th in a race, and that was at Mollington, 3rd in a race at Edgecote, 4th in another race as well. So there you see the runners streaming their way down towards the starting point. Freelia, the blue with the red one, which is in second as they stream down, the one that I was just talking about. And there they go towards the starting point. Let's bring in some betting.
Yeah, it's what they call a good betting race, Cornelius. The favourite Sykes has drifted out as a bit friendless, 5 to 4 out to 7 to 4. Singapore Saga is the 1, 6 to 1 now into 3 to 1. Going down the card, we got Freelia 5 to 1, Fufu 7 to 1, Nikki Steele 12, Quinto 14, Quite by Chance 10, Singapore Saga we already said 3. Sykes 7 to 4 and 5 to 1 Win Tour. It's a good betting race, and there's a lot of people down there betting in this one.
Good. Well, if they're not going to bet on this, they're not going to have a bet, are they? Because it's an excellent race. So thanks to Simon, and we'll have more in a minute from him. Because Freelia, you can make a case for that. Fufu is number 2. The also maroony colours with beige coloured sleeves. That one. Spotted Cap is in there somewhere. But Fufu is a 9-year-old mare. Sally Allner trains, qualified via the Portman, owned by a group called the Baguettes Group. Ran under rules for the trainer's son-in-law, Rob Wolford, winning a hurdle race at Fontwell this time a couple of years ago. Most recently humped a pretty big weight round, finishing second at Taunton. That was a bit of time ago now as well. So Fufu, one of the 8 runners for this race. There you can see going down accompanied is Quite By Chance. And this race, the Kivels Mixed Open, scheduled for 12:40. It's race 3 of the 6 here this afternoon. And we are a couple of minutes past post time, but we'll be cracking on, I think, fairly soon with this one. That just on the left of picture there, having girth sorted out, that's the aforementioned Fufu. Nikki Steele there in the purpley colours. And we'll just quickly confirm the runners for this race. So we've added in there Singapore Saga. So sorry about the problem of earlier on. Freelia, Fufu, Nikki Steele, Kinto, Quite By Chance, Singapore Saga, Sykes and Wintour. Lovely. Thanks very much indeed. This a mixed open as Quite By Chance arrives at the starting point. And I tell you what, if you were going to have a bet here, you could make a case for having a whole number of them, really. Sykes certainly very promising last time in terms of where he could go in point-to-points. Clearly had a very good career under rules. But I thought Freelia ran all right. Fufu's got credentials. Quinto actually didn't run too badly last time. Quite By Chance clearly is in good order. Singapore Saga has been well supported. And Wintour nowhere near out of it. So that is the way this third race of the afternoon is shaping up. Horses at the start. Starter there with the blue in the blue. In fact, it might be a different starter this time, but looks as they're just about ready for them. Favourites been in very good form. The favourites, plural, been in good form so far this afternoon. Broadcliff successful in the conditions race for novice riders. Anna Johnston having her first win on that. And then Porter Clock with Darren Edwards successful in the first race. But they've both been good races as well. So favourites have won. However, Porter Clock was given a little bit of a fright by Potter's Approach, and Broadcliff was definitely given a bit of a fright by Field Exhibition. So as the starter mounts his rostrum, flags are raised. I wonder what's going to happen here. Mark Dennis will be describing it.
Runners approach the line now. Starter not happy, so just asking him to take a turn and reapproach, which they duly oblige. Still under orders. This time they're away. So flag down then, we're away for the mixed open race. 8 runners and riders. Biggest field of the afternoon so far, and they take the first of their 18 fences, and Singapore Saga with the advantage around about 2.5, maybe 3 lengths clear as they tackle fence number 2, and they're over that safely. And Quite By Chance just the back marker of the 8 then, as they sweep into the home straight and on towards 2 more plain fences, fences 3 and 4, and they're all over that safely. And quickly on to the next. So Singapore Saga and Darren Andrews, a couple of lengths clear. On the outside then is Nikki Steele. Nikki Steele and Anna Highlands go up now to join the leader. Sykes is back in 3, Frelia 4, Kinto on the outside in 5. Just in that one slipstream is Wintour. Then Quite By Chance, and Fufu now is the back marker and just detached by about 1.5 lengths as they prepare then to cross the ditch for the first time, with Singapore Saga out over. Nikki Steele just dived it slightly, just pecked on landing, but they're all over that safely and quickly on to the next then. As they do so, come to it now. And again, Nikki Steele was a little bit untidy at that over that, but they race on then to the top end of the course. It was Sykes is the even money favourite, a winner here last time under Darren Edwards. Darren's already scored in the first this afternoon. Is the even money favourite. 3-1 is Singapore Saga, quite by chance 3-1. 5-2 Kinto, and Failure all for a 5-2 chance, and Fufu is 61. 8-1 is Nikki Steele, and that's the outsider of the 8 then, as they tackle the solitary plain fence in the back straight and race along level in front of us. So Nikki Steele on the outside of Singapore Saga, Sykes on the inside of Frelia. These four have gone around about 6 or 7 lengths clear then of Kinto, just lost a place or two. Wintour on the inside quite by chance, and another 4 lengths down back to Fufu as they now continue down over the hill then for the first time in this mixed open. Sykes on the inside of Singapore Saga, Frelia driven up there on the outside under Bradley Gibbs. There 1, 2 and 3, so the big guns are up front, so they can't tackle the next then. And Singapore Saga sailed out over it, a length and a half clear then of the favourite Sykes. Frelia next, and then we see Nikki Steele, and quite by chance there 4 and 5. Frelia got that all wrong and was out jumped there by quite by chance, who jumped into third, and pretty frenetic gallop been set by the leaders for this mixed open race. Singapore Saga's been up there throughout, and takes them towards the next. This will be the final circuit, or final chip fence in a circuit's time, as they now settle down to race past the judge en route to the open ditch for the final time. So Singapore Saga and Darren Andrews clear of Darren Edwards on Sykes. On the outside, quite by chance, Nikki Steele's a little bit wider out. Frelia is still niggled with by Bradley Gibbs, and these 5 have gone clear, around about 6 or 7 lengths clear of Wintour and Kinto. Fufu is also struggling at the back as the leaders have taken the ditch then, and continue up to this plain fence at the top of the home straight. And Singapore Saga, he's set a pretty fierce gallop so far. Fufu's been pulled up as they race on to the top end of the course then. Singapore Saga closely attended by quite by chance and Sykes, around about 2.5 lengths then back to Frelia, and Nikki Steele has raced a little bit wider around that bend under Anna Highlands. Wintour's in behind this, then Kinto. So they're down the back straight then for the final time then in this mixed open, and a fierce pace has been set from Flagfall by Singapore Saga. Sykes now is just niggled with under Darren Edwards to keep in touch with this leader, who looks full of running at the moment. Sykes has just come back on the bridle. Nikki Steele is dropped back to 5th now, quite by chance 3, and Frelia is ridden in 4 under Bradley Gibbs. So half a circuit left to race then in this mixed open, and they continue down over the hill. Singapore Saga ridden confidently by Darren Andrews, attended by Sykes and Darren Edwards, quite by chance a little bit wider out, and in behind them Frelia in 3, so they're up the far side then. This is 4 from home, and out over it Singapore Saga. Sykes gives chase back in 2nd. Frelia is 3, then quite by chance 4 as they race towards the cross fence then, and come to it now. Singapore Saga jumped that well. He's got Sykes under the pump back in 2. Frelia is all out in 3 as they round the turn then and race towards the second last. Singapore Saga jumps it well. Sykes now hard driven back in 2nd as they race towards the final fence then. Singapore Saga jumps it really well. It's clear, 4 or 5 lengths clear of Sykes now. Darren Edwards gets hard at work, and Wintour's racing into 3rd from Frelia, back in 4th, but Singapore Saga's going to take this mixed open in fine style. Leads from Flagfall, takes it really well for Darren Andrews. Sykes being back in second, Wintour is 3, Frelia's next, and then quite by chance, Quinto and Nikki Steele.
Any more in the net?
No, I haven't known.
So, there we are. The market got that right. Few quid for the horse there that you can see Darren Andrews in the diamond colours, Singapore Saga, and she's won that in good style. Big smile from the winning rider, and I'm not surprised. Confidently ridden. Sykes well supported, and plenty of tips around the place for Sykes, especially after that that success the other day. But it's this guy in the centre of your picture that's come out in front. A lot of delight over this success, and Singapore Saga had run in the men's open at the last fixture. Used to be trained by Philip Hobbs. I remember winning a handicap hurdle race. I think it was probably in April time, spring anyway, at Exeter. Has on occasions been a tiny bit tricky, but nothing tricky about Singapore Saga here. And she's a 7-year-old mare, and they're going to have some fun with her. And Singapore Saga racing for Messrs J&K Hurd, Mr. and Mrs. D&B Hooper, Mr. and Mrs. J&S Gardener. So plenty of owners all getting their debrief from Darren Andrews. And yeah, good to see. And Darren, absolutely excellent rider in these parts, and another good display. I think we might have a look at the replay. So here we are, coming down into the closing stages, and you've got or towards the closing stages. Singapore Saga jumped that one really well. So did Sykes. Sykes is, as you can see, is just quite hard ridden at this point. And Singapore Saga is ridden really confidently by Darren Andrews. Freelia ran slightly in snatches, finishing third. I'll tell you what, the horse that's in third there, the horse that's definitely one to bear in mind that I think finished third in the end is Wintour, number 9, which is jumping that fence, the second last, in about 5th. But Singapore Saga's got this one. Jockey looks round, and she's pretty soon stamping her authority on this race. Sykes has run well, but look at the way that bottom one, Wintour, has stayed on for third place in front of Freelia in 4th place. A few people crowding along the rails here to have a good look at the action this afternoon. Winning Connections delighted in the winner's enclosure. And yeah, I like the way that this was clearly anticipated. The horse has been less than straightforward, but didn't have too much difficulty today. The order given for the horses to be taken away, off to the usual TLC from stable staff, trainers, etc., etc. Having had a real good set to out there on the track. Number 6, Singapore Saga, our winner then of what was a good race today, the mixed open race 3 out of 6 this afternoon at Wadebridge. We'll have in fact, I was just about to say we will bring you news of the runners in the next race in a few moments' time, but in fact, we can do it now. A decent-sized field again. So we've got number 1, Full Spez with Heidi Lewis. 2, Hillbilly Philly with Chloe Emsley. Hillbilly Philly. Try saying that fast lots of times. 3 is Lighthouse Mill. Jake Bayment rides that for Jill Dennis. 4, Quintin's Man. Darren Andrews on board. And Darren looking to follow up that success of a few moments ago. 5, Red Cat, Fly McIntyre. Martin McIntyre on board that one. 6 doesn't go. 7, Sake of Secrecy. Josh Newman riding in the colours of Mrs. Keeley. Qualified via the Sevington, that one. 8 doesn't go. 9, and there's quite a word on the racecourse for this one. Transition Period. Dean Summersby. And Darren Edwards rides that, and it's not Darren Andrews on number 10, it's Nathan Rahman on number 10, Twist About. So Darren's in super fine form, but only riding one in this. Just love those shots. What about another of our remote camera shots? What can our technical team show us? Because that's just a nice shot. So let's go a little bit further on, and there we are. There's a good look at the 4th last, the 3rd last, and a bit further, and we can see the last couple of fences as well. And that's the and here's another remote camera shot having a look across the race course as well. So that is the situation here at the moment on a grey, increasingly chilly afternoon, I have to tell you here. But we're going to talk to somebody who'll be nice and warm in just a second, because the winning rider had a broad smile on his face after the last race, and that was Darren Andrews. I'm not surprised. That was a really nice. That was a nice way. You rode the horse very confidently. You obviously knew what you thought she had to give you.
Yeah, she's difficult. Typical Midnight Legend mare.
Yeah.
She. I rode her down in the last day. I think it was third on her. Not beaten very far.
In a decent race. Yeah.
Dropped her out. I jumped the first and I was in front. She has one way of going. When she ran under rules before John bought her for Hobbsy,
didn't she used to hang very?
Yeah, Tom O'Brien won on her at Exeter and then ended up in the car park over the white rail. She hung left and jumped over the rail. Yeah. And around here, both times I've ridden her, she's hung right, she's hung left, she's jumped right. She's just one of them. You just have to sit and survive and suffer and just go along with her. Yeah. She's done very well hurdling, and she almost hurdles these. She's so quick over them.
Did she win that was the race?
She won a hurdle, yeah, she won.
When you say she ended up in the car park, you're not joking, are you?
No, she did. She physically did. She landed out over the white rail and sprawled on the concrete, and Tom managed to stay on her, but yeah. But no, I did fancy her just getting Sykes back today, with Sir Mangan not turning up. I thought she might have the upper hand, and just riding her from the front, she almost, I had a couple with me, and she almost was quite gassy early, but once I got left alone, I could just then take a pull on her and actually make her do what I wanted her to do. She's not easy to steer around the bends. John was on about putting a pricker on her, but I said no, we'll try her again, and hopefully the more we run her now, the more she'll just mellow, and hopefully, I mean, she's just turned 7.
Yeah.
So, you know, she's here for John for
you're going to have
years.
some fun with her,
Yeah, I think we will. We will. You know, and I would see her in a hunter chase. I think, personally, I could. Whether she's allowed to, I'm pretty sure she is. But something like that, just over a short trek, because I think she just goes a million, and that's her way of riding. As long as I'm brave enough on the day, I think we'll be all right.
And quick sentence, transition period coming up, quick double, because I heard a big tip for the horse.
No, I'm not on that one.
Are you?
No, that's Darren Edwards. I am on...
right, apologies, got my Darrens mixed up.
I am on another one for John, first time out
Quintin's
baby.
man,
Quintin's man, yeah. Very unknown. He's about 19 hands. He's a monster. So, yeah, we'll see. And then Fountain's Chief in the restricted. He should go very well off the last day when he ran. And then Oyster Perch in the maiden. So, busy day.
Excellent.
Busy day.
Well, there's a trophy for you. You better go and get
Thank
it.
you ever so much.
Thanks very much indeed to Darren Andrews. I think we've got another interview to pick up. Let's see what we've got this time.
Right, Mike Smith, Singapore Saga. You bookies have been stung there. 6-1 into 3-1.
6-1 last, but it was 3-1 to money as well.
Was it the worst in the book?
Well, it wasn't worse in the book, so you've got to get back this race, mate.
Faces that you knew, or people that had just come in for that one?
Just a few faces, but people I never knew back very late.
Get it back this race.
Keep going.
So, a gamble landed. That news from the betting ring here at Wadebridge. A gamble landed, and heard Darren Andrews. Confusion of these Darrens. They both do really well, and apologies for getting them confused every now and again. Darren Andrews and Darren Edwards, and Darren Andrews successful on Singapore Saga, and it was Darren Edwards successful earlier on the day on Port O'Clock. And a good opportunity for Darren Edwards in this next race, for which the first of the horses just emerging in to the paddock. And that looks like State of Secrecy. Sake of Secrecy. Yeah, it is Sake of Secrecy. Josh Newman will be riding that one, trained by Neil McLean. And 6-year-old by El Salvador. And I have to say, I've seen worse debuts than when this horse clouted one quite late on and faded soon after in the maiden race here in early December, won by Escape and Evade. Escape and Evade that won the maiden here and there's a close-up of Sake of Secrecy, and has won over hurdles since in Scotland. Just going through there, that's number 5, Red Cap. Rob Channing trains, qualified via the Silverton, owned by a partnership. Made his debut in a flat race in March 2020 at Buckfast Lee. When quite well fancied at 3-1, finished third, beaten 8 lengths. Hasn't run since then, but clearly has ability. Get some betting for you from the betting ring here in just a few moments' time. Grey horse just going through our picture there is the top one, number 1, Full Spez. See if we can pick up him side on now. There we are. There he is. Full Spez. Trained by Heidi Lewis, qualified via the Lammerton. 1 point-to-point at Wadebridge before Christmas, went in the hunt for much of the way before fading. Ran under rules for Warren Great Treks, Full Spez. And was kept pretty busy as well. Good shots of Full Spez. Heidi Lewis will be on board today. This is the Hell Tour maiden for 4, 5 and 6-year-olds. And this Full Spez is number 1 on the card. So that's Full Spez. What are we going to pick up next? Just coming round, if we just with the 2 handlers, there we are. Is number 10, Twist About. And Twist About is a 6-year-old by Phoenix Reach. Races for a syndicate called the Quiet Ones Club, formerly with the Easterby family. Got up near the finish to win a point-to-point bumper at Duncan Park. That was a couple of years ago now. And was considered a leading contender when keeping on to be third in a maiden at the Herworth soon afterwards. Mick used to be around him in a bumper at Warwick, and actually it looked as though finished 6 of 16, and I thought this horse ran quite well. Looked as though the penny was just dropping. I think we can return to the betting ring now. Another interview.
Right, Dax, I've just seen you take a bet on a card there at a point-to-point.
That's right, yeah.
It's race business.
Reasonable, actually, yeah, not too bad. First race is pretty quiet, but it's going well now.
This race is another good betting heat.
Yeah, decent enough, yeah. Yeah, we'll get into his favourite.
So, that's a view from the betting ring. And there's number 7. That's the sake of secrecy. We've seen that one. Just going through our picture. Now, Lighthouse Mill, which will be making its way round from the left of the picture in just a second or two's time. That's full spares again. The one I'm interested in is the next one to come around. Right, here, just about, there we are. WWD on the blanket. WW Dennis, remembering the late Walter Dennis, whose widow Jill is the owner-trainer of Lighthouse Mill, qualified via the Tech Kit. 5-year-old by Leading Light. And this horse has run the once, hasn't he? Yeah, finished 4th. He was quite well beaten by Escape and Evade here in December. However, that was a pretty promising first run, I would say. So, and that you know, as I've said already, it was a maiden in which a couple of these ran, and the winner of the race has been sold and been successful under rules since. So, yeah, I'll be keeping an eye out for Lighthouse Mill. Quite a bit of promise I've written here from debut before Christmas when in that Escape and Evade maiden race. Certainly something on which to build, and the Full Brother is a winning point-to-pointer in Ireland. Let's bring, because the betting's all important on these occasions. What price is Lighthouse Mill, Simon? Because that's one that...
Lighthouse Mill, second favourite, 11-4.
So the favourite is?
Transition period, 5-4 on at the moment, transition period.
There's been a big word on the racecourse for it as well, hasn't there?
Yep, down the card they go Full Spice, 20, Hillbilly Filly, 12, Lighthouse Mill, 11-4, Quinton's Man, 8-1, Red Cap, 5-1, Over the Page for Sake of Secrecy, 5-1, Transition period, 5-4 on favourite, and Twist About, 4-1.
Excellent. That is news then from the betting ring. Thanks to Simon. Let's find transition period number 9 on the card. And just coming through now, actually. There we are, with the bright blue rug on. Transition period, just quite lively in the, as you can see, quite lively in the paddock here. It's done that a couple of times. And transition period is a 6-year-old by Jetaway. Form figures that you can see there of transition period. An F for 2, then a gap at another 2. John and Sonia Gardener are the owners here. Dean Summersby trains transition period. Only just missed out when collared close to the finish by Evron, beaten ahead in a maiden race here in December, and the pair were nicely clear of the third. The fall in the form figures that you can see was at the last when still in with the chance. That was at Barbary Castle, I think, late in 2020. And the horse, the other 2, was runner-up to a fair type at Cottlestone in April. Feeling that this one's time is not too far away. And here is number 9, transition period, with Darren Edwards about to get the leg up on board. Darren Edwards riding this one. Darren Andrews is on board Quinton's Man, which we'll probably see in a second. No signal yet for the horses to go out onto the track. Just coming through, that's Hill Billy Filly, green with the gold sash. That's Quintin's man, number 4. See if we can stick with that one. Darren Andrews, who we just heard from, now helmeted up. We'll pick that one up perhaps in just a second. Full Spez going through the picture. And Full Spez has been adjudged the best turned out. Another grey winning the best turned out here. But this number 2 here, Hillbilly Filly, she's a mare by Court Cave, trained by Ed Walker, qualified via the Catterstock, running a couple of maidens here and at Banbury Rings. Nice sort. Will do better, I'm sure, for experience at some point. That's Sake of Secrecy with the jockey now up, so quite light colours with the red cap to look out for. Going through the picture there is Quentin's Man. The horse that's actually going to lead them out onto the racecourse is number 10, Twistabout. And in fact, the transition period has gone down just in front of him. So transition period and Twistabout on their way to the starting point. Transition period, that was the first thing I heard on arrival at Wadebridge. And one or two good judges then back that up. That the horse for them today is that horse there, just going out of your picture. Transition period. There's Twistabout. Coming down now is Hillbilly Filly. Then we've got Full Spez after that one. You can see on the racecourse, if you're unfamiliar with Wadebridge, there is that period that the camera there covers well, that period of sand that they have to navigate. There's Sake of Secrecy in the middle with the red cap. The Dennis runner as well, Lighthouse Mill, making its way towards the starting point. So the racecourse sort of long and thin. It's sort of, I would think of it being quite a Clare-like in shape. And there are the horses streaming their way down towards the starting point, which is, they come and they jump a fence, and then they don't jump that fence again. So they start in a sort of shoot area. So this race 4, the Heltor Maiden for 4, 5 and 6-year-olds. And we might just confirm for you I think I can confirm to you the runners. Number 1 runs Full Spez with Heidi Lewis, 2 Hillbilly Filly with Chloe Emsley, 3 Lighthouse Mill with Jake Bayment, 4 Quintin's Man, quite green. This horse, trained by John Hurd, Darren Andrews. 5 Red Cap with Martin McIntyre. 7 Sake of Secrecy, Josh Newman. 9 Transition Period, Darren Edwards. And 10 Twistabout, the one formerly with the Easterbys, ridden by Nathan Rahman. So those are the contenders. Red Cap, I don't think we mentioned, that's some pink and green quartered colours. You can see there just going across the picture. 6-year-old by Ask, trained by Robert Channing. Races in the ownership of Partnership. Has actually got bits and pieces of promise, really. Yeah, be expecting to see Red Cap running probably quite nicely today. But Transition Period is the one that is of most interest in the betting. And if you look carefully at that lovely scene of rural Britain, yeah, there it is, rural Britain with a forestation in the background, the trees in the background, the diamond colours there, in fact from this distance looks just pretty solid red. That is this Transition Period that is such a popular choice in the betting ring. So, transition period, a pretty strong favourite, but just looking down the list, Full Spez, the grey horse, has shown a bit of promise. So has number 2, Hillbilly Filly. Lighthouse Mill showed up quite well before. Red Cap was quite well fancied when last running, but that was quite a bit of time ago now. Secrecy was in that maiden race that Escape and Evade won. Transition period was just collared close to the finish by Evron the other day, and Dean Summersby looking for a double, having won the first race of the day. Same rider as well, Darren Edwards, with Porter Clock. And Twist About has shown a bit as well. So this is all right, this race. The Hell-Torn Maiden. Horses at the start. They're scheduled to start this. Gosh, it's only 1:15. I don't know how your Sunday's going, but I felt it was sort of, we're just a few minutes after post time. I was thinking it must be nearly 3 o'clock, but and actually we don't want to get to 3 o'clock too quickly, because it'll mean that the fixture is over, and I think it might well, if the weather forecast is right, have started raining quite hard as well. There's some more rain expected in these parts later on in the day. Starter must be nearly ready for them. If you missed it earlier on, Singapore Saga was a good winner of the Mixed Open, our third race of the day, and the first 2 races both won by the favourites. Broadclist in race 2 and Porter Clock race 1. Off they go. Mark Dennis.
Jump away from the start. 8 runners and riders for this 4, 5 and 6-year-old maiden race, and take on the first of their 18 fences. 1 or 2 novice jumps there at the back of the field, but they're all over it safely, and on towards the next end. Lighthouse Mill, the fractional advantage. Transition period just on his inside in second. The one that pecked marginally on landing there was Red Cap, just on the heels of the front 3, as they take on fence number 3 then, and they're all over that safely, and racing on to the next then. So Lighthouse Mill, transition period. Hillbilly Filly with the green colours and the sash in third on the outside. Sacred Secretary in the white colours with the red cap on the inside in fifth, just joined by Red Cap on his outside. Full Spez, the grey, is a little bit wider out with the sheepskin noseband. Twist About and Quinton's Man, the 2 back markers of the 8 then, as they've passed the judge. They've got 2 seconds ahead of them to race, and are now heading up towards the open ditch. And as they do so, Lighthouse Mill still with the fractional advantage over transition period. On the inside, Hillbilly Filly is a little bit wider out in 3. Full Spez is also now up there disputing 4 from Sake of Secrecy. And Red Cap as they cross the next then. And they're all over that safely. Twist About and Quinton's Man, the 2 back markers, as they race up then to the top end of the course. Transition period was the 5-4 on favourite. Lighthouse Mill next best at 2-1. And then we're out to 7-2 for a Twist About. 5-1 Sake of Secrecy. And the rest are really 8-1 or bigger. Full Spez is a big price, 20-1. So they're on the run down the back straight then, and towards another plain fence. Lighthouse Mill with again the fractional advantage over transition period on the inside. Darren Edwards looking for winner number 2 of the afternoon. Took the opener on Porter Clock. Hillbilly Filly, Red Cap, Sake of Secrecy, they dispute third. And then Full Spez is around about 6 lengths off of these. Another 6 lengths then back to Twist About, and 2 more to Quinton's Man as they begin the big descent down over the hill here at Wadebridge. Big feature of this course. So Lighthouse Mill, transition period, Sake of Secrecy, Hillbilly Filly and Red Cap. That's the front rank of 5. And around about 4 lengths then back to Full Spez as they race up and take this plain fence up the side of the course. Transition period now goes into a half-length lead over Lighthouse Mill as they race towards the cross fence. As they do so, they come to it. Leaders are safely out over it. And Twist About now is the one that's just becoming slightly detached under Nathan Rahman. from the main group as they reach the bottom of the home straight. 2 plain fences. Leaders have taken the first of them and continue on to the next, which will be the final fence in a circuit's time. And the road over that safely. Twistabout comes to it now, pops over it nicely enough, but it's being given a shake of the reins to try and close in on this leading group. As they pass the judge then, they've got a circuit ahead of them to race, and transition period with the advantage over Lighthouse Mill on his outside. Hillbilly Philly just from Red Cap in third. Sake of Secrecy is next, and wider out is Full Spez, who looks to be travelling well enough at the minute. So this is the open ditch then for the final time. The leaders are at it now, and they sail out over it. Quintin's Man was the one that gave the guardrail a bit of a rattle as Twistabout jumps it, still in arrears. But they continue on then to this final plain fence in the home straight. All leaders are over it safely and now race away up to the top end of the course once more for the final time. And Sake of Secrecy there got a real run up the inside and just goes up to dispute the lead. Transition period wise to it, and just goes on by a half length. Lighthouse Mill was pushed a little bit wide and is in 3. Red Cap is in 4 as they race back towards the then and on towards this only plain fence in the back straight, and they come to it now. And transition period, Sake of Secrecy made a real mess of that, landed in an awful heap, and Josh Newman did very well to keep the partnership intact there. So transition period with the advantage as they race along the level. Just over half a circuit left to race then in this 4, 5 and 6-year-old maiden race. And transition period with the advantage goes 3 lengths clear now. Lighthouse Mill and Red Cap, these two race and dispute second. Sake of Secrecy is back in 4. Then comes Full Spares. Quintin's Man is next, and the one that's finding a little bit of a struggle at the moment is Hillbilly Philly. She's the one that's really struggling to cope with the injection of pace as they race up the far side then, and they do so. They come to it now, and transition period, Red Cap and Lighthouse Mill. These are the 3 leading protagonists then as they race towards the third last. 3 out coming up then for transition period, and Lighthouse Mill took a bit of a chance with that, but jumps it pretty well as they sweep into the home straight then. And transition period with Lighthouse Mill bearing down on him on the outside. Red Cap back in 3. Lighthouse Mill switch to the inside now. Transition period at the final fence, 2 lengths clear of Lighthouse Mill. Red Cap back in 3. Then Sake of Secrecy, but transition period driven up to the line under Darren Edwards. Runner number 2 coming up this afternoon. Transition period takes the maiden race from Lighthouse Mill. Red Cap is next, Sake of Secrecy, then Full Spez, and they're the only ones to finish.
Declarations are now closed for our 6th race on the card. Declarations are now closed for race 6. So I now have the judges' preliminary results for the 4th race on our card. It was the 4, 5 and 6-year-olds maiden race, sponsored for us today by Hell Tour. And in first place, it was number 9, Transition Period. In second place, number 3, Lighthouse Mill. In third place, number 5, Red Cap. And in 4th place, number 7, Sake of Secrecy. Can't say it, sorry. Sake.
So, there is our winner. Transition period always in control. Although Lighthouse Mill has run with real credit, suspect that one will be found something at some point. Lighthouse Mill just jumped a little bit novice-y a couple of times, but basically ran well. But this transition period always pretty much in control. If we can just take the camera slightly to the right. So that's Jake Beaumont, and there is our winner. And this is a horse that's been well touted on the racecourse, was well backed, started quite a short price, and I'm not sure, just watching the race, I'm not sure there was ever any real doubt. Although, as we've said, Lighthouse Mill put in a bold show. The fact is that the winner won in good style. We perhaps can have a look at the closing stages again, can we? And here we go. Where are we going to pick it up? So you can see that at that one, in fact, you can see that Red Cap, which actually has a white cap, has run with real credit, but is pricked this eventual winner. Just has to be given a little bit of encouragement there by Darren Edwards, and as we've said, Lighthouse Mill is keeping on, was only a length and a half down at the second last, but beginning to assert at the last, jumps that really well. And Lighthouse Mill a bit novice-y as well, but Darren Edwards determined that Transition Period was going to learn something. And that's exactly what has happened, and this horse has won by a couple of lengths in the end. I think that possibly, as well as the second, the third horse is worth taking out of the race as well, Red Cap. And sake of secrecy, might well have been a little bit closer, but for making one quite bad mistake. But yeah, that is the situation at the end of the Hell Tour Maiden 4, 5 and 6-year-olds. 3 wins on the day for the owners, of course. So the Gardeners in great form. And we can now, while we're just taking that in, we can have a look at the runners for our next race. Here we are. So this is the restricted. Caught in Flight. Fountains Chief with Darren Andrews. Must Meet for a Pint. Chad Beaumont on that one. And the winner, Take It All, for Darren Edwards. So those the 4 for the restricted race, scheduled to go off at 1:50. And yeah, be quite a interesting little race there. We'll have a look at the horses in the paddock in a few moments. In a few moments' time. Fountains Chief's definitely got some good form to consider. So that is race 4 wrapped up. The restricted is the Nash and Ferguson restricted. There were 6 entries, but 4 of them, as we've said, are going to be taking part. So the crowd here and us on the live feed, getting a good view of the horses at the end of that previous race, that maiden, and just the signal for the horses to leave made at that exact moment. So if you are joining us on the live feed this afternoon, thank you very much indeed. Happy New Year. Hope that you join us throughout the season. There'll be stacks of live streaming from Point to Points in Devon and Cornwall. We anticipate being at Buckfast Lee in 7 days' time. So in Devon next time around. The fixture list then continues right the way through in Devon and Cornwall. Not so busy in February, but from March onwards starts getting very busy. March, April, May. And actually we're anticipating the traditional, as people here see it anyway, the traditional end of the point-to-point season in Devon in early June, which couldn't take place last season, but anticipating it this time around. So, and I think this is an opportunity just to remind you about the various social media platforms associated with the Devon and Cornwall area. The website is www.pointingdc.co.uk, and then Pointing DC is the magic expression, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. So you can keep in touch with Devon and Cornwall area social media, hashtag #GoPointing, and it's what a decent number of people have done here today. Quite an early start at this time of the year. Doesn't always work ideally, but decent number of people in here on a chilly January afternoon. Seen a couple of decent-sized fields the last couple of races. Good to see the men's open, the mixed open, I should say, mixed open with a good turnout there and a good turnout for that maiden race as well. Two races to come. The Nash and Ferguson Restricted, the 4 runners in race 5, and then at the end of the day, very early finish. The Tregorn Holiday Cottages maiden, 7 years old plus. We'll have some runners on that one for you a little bit later on. Lovely countryside round here. I think I've said it before, if you think Cornwall's just sort of beaches and ice cream and bucket and spade, sandcastles, some lovely countryside as well. Feels fairly unspoiled too. Not exactly saying when the A30 goes not too far away that Poldark would have recognised it, but you know what I mean. Still beautiful British countryside. And at the moment, trophies being presented after that 4th race of the afternoon. Oh, the camera is going to go a little bit further. And there's a trophy of Rock Gin. Rock being a very fashionable village town now, I suppose. Very small town, big village. Resort on the North Cornish coast. And everyone seems to have gin these days, doesn't it? And Rock Gin is being handed out to the winners of this race, of this last race, and I think all the races here today. That shot gives you an idea of so they'd be running towards us, of how testing the course is. So I think, talking of Rock Gin, we're going to talk about it right now. Angie Mauld is going to join us from Rock Gin. And Angie, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Come nice and close to the mic so I can we can hear you. George is with him, is with Angie as well. So yeah, you've been very generous. You're with your rock gin. Yes.
Well, we're local, and this is local, and we like sponsoring local as well. We do sponsor further afield.
Yeah, but you're very generous to the Devon and Cornwall area, which
exactly.
I know of which they're very appreciative. And lots of places seem to have gin these days. So this is rock as in rock. Rock as in rock.
As in rock.
Rock
yeah.
as in the very fashionable North Cornish resort. What is different about rock gin compared to other gins?
Well, it's all 100% natural. It's sugar-free, made locally here, near Rock, not actually in Rock, but very close. And it's got no additives at all, and quite.
So
quite
it's good. So
clean,
you can drink away and feel that you're being healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
And do you supply all over the place?
We're blitzed in Cornwall, but yes,
Devon.
and Devon really. Keep it local.
Absolutely. And do you employ lots of people to make the gin?
We do, yes.
Yeah. So, well, that's good. So you're an important employer.
I have lots of little elves now. It did start off making it myself.
Did you?
Yes.
All right. So what made you what made you start?
Well,
she drinks a lot of gin.
Well, funny enough, I was about to ask the question, do you drink lots of gin? Is that why you started making it? And then I thought that wasn't a very polite way of putting it.
No, he politely said one day, "Why don't you make gin?" So I said, "I will."
Right. So you went off. And I remember you having horses with both of you having horses with David Pipe.
Yes.
Right, yeah. And you had
Bonanza Boy.
Bonanza Boy. I was about to say.
Yeah.
No, not just any old horse, but
we had
Bonanza
more
Boy.
actually with Martin Pipe. We did have horses with David afterwards,
the
but
Pipe,
we
so I should
started
say.
off with Martin
And
really.
Bonanza Boy, the only
He won
horse
the
to have
two
won
Welsh
consecutive
Nationals,
Welsh Grand Nationals.
And one little fact: when we imported our still to make our gin, you have to name it to bring it in the country, and we called it Bonanza Boy.
Really?
After him, yeah.
That's
so that's our tie-up.
So,
I tied my two hobbies
I'm just
together.
trying to think when Bonanza Boy's sort of late 80s, early 90s?
89 and 90, he won the Welsh National.
88 and 89.
89, sorry.
Yeah.
Then he won the Midlands National.
Yeah. He was a good horse, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was a good horse, as they say.
Yeah.
And the horse that didn't win the Welsh Grand National this year was attempting to emulate your horse.
To emulate him, yeah.
And other horses have won too, but never consecutively.
No.
So
he won two Welsh Nationals.
He won from sort of near bottom weight to top weight as well.
Yeah,
which
he
was,
went shooting. He
yeah,
went shooting up.
He went
didn't
shooting up. Yeah.
And then he came second, third year, the fourth year.
Oh, he was a good horse.
Good,
So,
yeah.
have you got any more horses in the pipeline? Could Rock Gin be running around?
We nearly bought one, but there will be a Rock Gin running around.
Eventually.
Well, we look forward to that. And hold up your bag so we get a good view of Blue Angel Cornish Rock Gin. Well, look, thanks for your generosity. It's without meaning to sound patronising, it's organisations like you supporting it that make certain that this type of event can keep going.
Well, for us it's lovely because it ties our two hobbies together.
And it's practically on your doorstep.
Exactly.
Yeah. Excellent. Well done to you, and thanks very much indeed for coming to chat.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Very enjoyable. Very enjoyable indeed. Talking about Rock Gin. Now the horse is beginning to appear in the paddock for our penultimate race. Simon's here as well, so Simon can update us on betting news from the betting ring.
Yeah, we've got a hot favourite in Fountains Chief, bottle on 1-2, odds on 1-2. The winner take it all is 7-4. Must meet for a pint 4-1 and 12-1 caught in flight. But you can shop around and get some extra value there, as with the previous races, but the Fountains Chief is the hot favourite.
Super. So let's see if we can find Fountains Chief, number 3. Just going through our picture, there is number 2. That's caught in flight. And now the next one through. Let's stick with the next one through. There is Fountains Chief with the orange on the rug. And this one trained by Teresa Clark. And that Bowler Hat's had a good bit of coverage today, but there is Fountains Chief, 6-year-old by Native Ruler, and Teresa Clark the trainer for the Fountains Partnership, qualified via the Taunton Vale Foxhounds. A couple of point-to-point flat races last spring, finished second and fourth. Better again in the restricted here in early December when second behind Truckers Pass. And do you remember, led all the way to win that bumper at Stratford in May under rules, ridden by Darren Edwards. So there's Fountains Chief, and a pretty warm order as far as this race is concerned today. Lovely close-up shots of him and his handlers. So in front of those is, I think that's Caught in Flight, isn't it? The front of the two horses in front of Fountains Chief. 10-year-old mare by Cork Cave. Ed Walker trains, qualified via the Barclay Hunt, owned by the trainer and his wife Polly. Won a race when with the Gibbses. That was on pretty soft ground, but it was a couple of years ago. It might have even been it was in 2018, yeah, nearly 3 years ago. 4 runs for Ed Walker. Not a lot to report so far. Plenty of experience though. 20-something runs in this country, in the UK and in Ireland as well. So that is Caught in Flight, the mare. Practically reach out and touch her, can't you? Then got coming round, that's Fountains Chief. So we've had a look at Fountains Chief. And then this is Must Meet for a Pint, which means that the winner take it all is the one behind there. So Must Meet for a Pint, it's a 10-year-old by Muster Meat, trained by Helen Bayman, qualified via the Torrington Farmers, owned by the Baymans. Ran 7th in the restricted race here in December, having led early on. Previously unseated the rider when bang there in a restricted race at Dunsmore. Last season ran pretty well when 3rd in a race, a restricted race here, trained by Dean Summersby, and ran okay in a similar race at Bratton Down in May as well. So Must Meet for a Pint is that one. And then we've got number 6, the Winner Take It All, which is just coming round in front of the camera there. So if we can stick with the yellower piping on the rug, that's a good look at the Winner Take It All, 10-year-old, trained by Dean Summersby, qualified via the Forborough Hunt by definite article, this horse. Form figures last season don't really tell the whole story. It's unfortunate probably not to have won, certainly one, maybe even 2. Fell when in with every chance of winning at Bratton Down, that was a restricted in May, and rather ran into one when second at Fleet in May, that was a restricted as well. Top team, and better can be expected. So I think we've seen all 4 of our contenders for this race. Riders being given the order to mount. And it's Caught in Flight's rider just about to get the leg up. So the red and white of Caught in Flight. The Winner Take It All, darker colours with yellow checks on the sleeves. Very yellow colours with purple stars of, so that's the winner take it all there. Behind Must Meet for a Pint. Just giving a good opportunity to see the colours reasonably close up. And then Darren Andrews on Fountains Chief, our favourite, will emerge into our picture, I think, in just a second or two's time. Yeah, there we are. Looking really well. And the runners are just about to make their way out onto the racecourse. The Nash and Ferguson restricted. 4 runners on their way to the start. So there's Fountains Chief. Well, that's Caught in Flight. There's Fountains Chief. Who's going to be best turned out? And the winner take it all. The winner take it all. There we are. Best turned out, and as if by magic, straight into the picture, straight out of it again as well. There's Must Meet for a Pint. Reminded that Darren Andrews, who rides Fountains Chief, recently became engaged to Lauren Reid, who was riding earlier on and has been riding in really good form of late. And the Devon and Cornwall point-to-point area would, of course, like to extend their congratulations to Darren and Lauren at this extremely good news. This race scheduled for 1:50. In fact, we're just reaching post time right now, so I suspect it won't be too long before they're on their way. I think we've got news that in the final race of the afternoon, just been given an instruction that I couldn't hear, so let's just, oh right. Oh, thank you to Luke Harvey. I thoroughly enjoyed Luke Harvey's coverage of Cheltenham yesterday. He said, I can't remember who Luke said it about, somebody who is sort of challenged as far as hair is concerned. Can we put that back up again? Thanks. He said somebody at Sandown yesterday had a similar hairstyle to him, Luke. And Luke and I have got similar hairstyles as well. Anyway, you're very kind, Luke. Thanks very much indeed. Hashtag top work. And that could apply to ITV or hopefully to the live stream from Wadebridge this afternoon. At Simon Knott mentioned in the tweet, and at Simon Knott is at the microphone right now to update us on the betting.
Yes, it's, the favourite is still Fountains Chief at 4-6, but there's been money for the winner take it all. 7-4 into 6-4. Must Meet for a Pint 5-1, and Caught in Flight is Friendless at 20. So the money for the winner take it all in opposition to the favourite, Fountains Chief.
Right, so Fountains Chief and the winner take it all, thanks to Simon. As we switch cameras, down to the starting area. So Fountains Chief, the yellow one just going right to left, the red and white there of Caught in Flight, the darker colours, Chad Bayment riding Must Meet for a Pint. Chad and Jake, two enthusiastic brothers based in these parts, both riding regularly in point-to-points. And the winner take it all, that one with the darker colours with the check sleeves. Earlier on in the day, Darren Edwards, who rides the winner take it all, rode his first winner of the afternoon when Porter Clock held off Potter's Approach in the first race of the day. Then in race 2, the conditions race, Anna Johnston rode her first winner, Broadclist, Again, like the first winner, favourite, successful there. Then a really good, I think, mixed open race. Sykes was all the rage, but Singapore Saga, she was well backed as well. She won that for Darren Andrews. And the owners have had a particularly good day because they then had another success in our most recent race, race 4. This is John and Sonia Gardener. They've owned winners throughout the afternoon in one guise or another. Right, on your screen, the guy in blue, just going off to the left there, he's the starter, so we're just about ready to roll for race 5 of 6 this afternoon. Fountains Chief, favourite, but plenty of support for the winner, Take It All. And yeah, it looks an intriguing event. The Darrens on the 2 principals, Fountains Chief with Darren Andrews, the winner, Take It All, with Darren Edwards. Looking forward to race 5.
Runners approach the line. Flag goes down, so we're away then for this restricted race. 4 runners and riders then jump away from the start and take on the first of the 18 fences, and they've all jumped that okay. Fountains Chief is just a little bit slower away from it than the other 3 as they take on fence number 2 then. Must meet for a pint just with a fractional advantage, and Fountains Chief a faller. Favourite falls at fence 2. Horse and jockey up on their feet okay, which is the main thing, as we see the field reduced to 3 then, and on to fence number 4. So winner, Take It All from Must Meet for a Pint on the outside. Caught in action, or caught in flight, sorry, a little bit wider out in the white colours. The back marker of the 3 then as they pass the judge. 2 circuits ahead of them to race. So winner, Take It All under Darren Edwards. Darren looking for a treble here this afternoon. Victory in the opener and our last race, transition period. Darren Andrews also was a winner earlier on, so to be a winning jockey around here, it helps if your name is Darren. That was the open ditch then, and all 3 safely over it and race on towards the final plain fence in the home straight as they come to it now. Leaders are safely out over it. Caught in flight sails over it, just about 3 or 4 lengths adrift, back in 3rd as they climb up to the top end of the course then. Winner, Take It All with a fractional advantage from Must Meet for a Pint, Chad Bayment. Partners this one on the outside of the senior jockey in the area, Darren Edwards. Caught in flight, Animal Dumal. So they race then to this plain fence in the home straight, or in the back straight, sorry, and they're all away from an okay. So Must Meet for a Pint and the winner, Take It All, gone clear now from Caught in Flight by around about 7 or 8 lengths as they reach the cusp of the hill and prepare for this big descent. Winner, Take It All now goes on by a couple of lengths to Must Meet for a Pint, just steadied slightly going down over the hill. Caught in Flight now another 5 lengths back in 3, so they continue down over the hill. The winner, Take It All, reach the bottom now and race up the far side on towards another plain fence. 1 circuit almost complete then in this restricted. Winner, Take It All, good jump there by Must Meet for a Pint, jumps up onto the outside of the Winner, Take It All as they race on then to the cross fence. These 2 still well clear of Caught in Flight. He's around about 7 lengths back in 3rd as they take the turn that brings them into the bottom of the home straight then on towards these 2 plain fences. Winner, Take It All and Darren Edwards continue to the next then, and they sail out over that, they're okay. Caught in Flight back in 3, Must Meet for a Pint now. Just give them a shake of the reins by Chad Bayman to try and keep in touch with the Winner, Take It All. Darren Edwards looks over his shoulder Just making a slight assessment of the opposition as he does. So they're inside the final circuit now in this restricted, must meet for a pint. Now with a fractional advantage from the winner take it all. Caught in flight continues around about 7 or 8 lengths adrift of the leading two. That was the open ditch. They're all over that safely and continue on to another plain fence at the top of the home straight. So must meet for a pint and the winner take it all. We're in the air together there, matching strides more or less as they leave the home straight behind then and take this turn at the top end of the course. Fountains Chief was the 2-1 on favourite. The winner take it all is 6-4. Then must meet for a pint, a 5-1 chance, and caught in flight to the outsider at 12-1. So they race down the back straight then for the final time in this restricted, and on towards this plain fence. The winner take it all, just a little bit low at that, parted the birch, but got away from an okay. Caught in flight has been pulled up, must meet for a pint now. Comes under strong pressure from Chad Bayman to just keep in touch with the winner take it all. The winner take it all just having to be persuaded also to head away from the lorries for the final time then. So they're on the descent down over the hill. The winner take it all, looking for winner number 3 of the afternoon for Darren Edwards. Must meet for a pint, closely attends him as they continue down the hill then. The winner take it all, must meet for a pint, and they head up the far side now and on towards this plain fence. So the winner take it all comes to it and is jumped, and again must meet for a pint. Had a good jump there and jumps up on the outside of the winner take it all. This is 3 from home now. These two are going to make a real good race of this. That was 3 out over. The winner take it all. Darren Edwards now low in the saddle, driving this one a couple of lengths clear of must meet for a pint. He got a good turn on the bend there, but the winner take it all. He's clear now by about 3 lengths as he races to the final fence then. But the winner take it all from must meet for a pint, who made a real mistake at the final fence. So the winner take it all going to be driven out now to the line under Darren Edwards for the treble this afternoon for Darren, and that's number 5 for the season. Must meet for a pint, a gallant second, around about 4 or 5 lengths adrift.
So the whole complexion of that race changed rather dramatically pretty early on with the departure of Fountains Chief. We'll get some starting prices in a second, but I think Fountains Chief probably was favourite ahead of the eventual winner, the winner take it all. But gallant in defeat must meet for a pint. And the 2 horses, the other horse that was in the hunt, caught in flight, was pulled up and is just being unsaddled, as you can see there. But it ended up being all about the winner take it all and must meet for a pint. And yeah, I think we might have a look at the replay of that one. So here we are with the winner take it all in front, 4 out, but must meet for a pint very much. Look how in touch he was. Just he's headed the winner take it all, hasn't he? And then they come down towards this one. So both of them jump that well, but the winner take it all just gets away well, and the experience of Darren Edwards just nicking a nice lead, heading towards 2 out, and now at the last, which neither are especially fluent, but must meet for a pint is a bit less fluent, and the winner take it all is driven out by the area's leading rider, and it's another popular success for this horse. And here, if we can just Yeah, there's a lot of enthusiasm here for the winner. Gets a nice pat down the neck. We'll have news, by the way, of the final race in just a second. But Michael Bickle, delighted, shaking the hand of Dean Summersby there. And although there's not a massive crowd here at Wadebridge today, those who are here delighted with that success. Well done, boys, says the owner about the winner take it all. I think I said beforehand, didn't I, that the form figures last season just didn't really tell the whole story. He had every chance of winning at Bratton Down, came down in a restricted there, and ran into a winner that was going to take some beating at Fleet as well. But successful here today. Obviously, quite well supported anyway, but the task made easier by the Fountains Chief coming down early on. Horse and rider fine after that. But there in the back of the picture there, Must Meet for a Pint has run a really gallant race for the Baymans. But I love that. Don't go camera. Go the other way. Yeah, stay there. Oh no, just some lovely shots there of the winning owner and winning connections after that result. So well done to all involved. This was the Nash and Ferguson restricted, and it was race 5 out of 6 here this afternoon. And I don't know if you're picking up what I'm picking up here, but absolutely fantastic, says someone just walking through our picture. Now there's just confirmation that Darren Andrews is perfectly okay after that tumble earlier on. So we are bang up to date at Wadebridge. The Summersby team clearly in very good heart and going well. And there's another success, and another success for Darren Edwards. I think that's a treble, isn't it, today? He's going really well. Although it's quite a chilly day, I suppose, and the people leading up and looking after these horses probably not boiling hot, but getting a good opportunity to show off their horses, their prides and joys to the crowd here today. I think Dean Summersby is actually just coming over for another quick chat, so we'll have another word with him. He won the first race of the afternoon with Porter Clock, and then he's had a very good day already, and that day has just got a bit. That good day already, and that day's just got a bit better.
Going well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Obviously, the departure of the other horse early on was not the end of the world as far as you were concerned, but you were always in control, I think.
The other horse was. We didn't really see how we were probably going to beat the favourite, but then you still got to jump round.
Yeah.
The winner take it all. Fair play to him, because it was on his ground today. Like flat
track,
and
better ground.
Yeah, flat track, good ground. Like he's a galloper horse, but what he will do, he'll lay his heart on the line for you. He's one of them that just tries and tries and tries. Probably, he wouldn't be the most athletic and the most natural ability to horse I got in the yard, but I tell you what, I probably haven't got a horse that would try as hard.
Yeah. And he was last season. He was a bit unlucky not to win, not to.
Yeah, he fell at Bratton Down. Last year, several of them were probably a bit unlucky. And it's just the way the racing went, and I ended up running him in a 2.5 mile restricted, trying to get other horses in as well, and that probably wasn't really his race. And then I did mess it up a bit because we were second at Fleet when
you ran
I was running him a bit quick.
Yeah.
And if he hadn't have gone in the 2.5 miler, before, he probably would have won at Fleet and things like that. But then that's the way the season worked last year.
You trainers always.
Yeah, you're trying to fit a season in like 6-7 weeks.
Yeah, and just quickly, because I know there's a presentation for you, transition period. That's quite. You're going to have some fun there, aren't you?
Yeah, he's a nice horse. Like, he's progressive. I know people said a lot about his jumping, but he's getting better. His school's perfect at home. That's the main reason we come here, really. He's probably, hopefully you won't probably see him back at Wadebridge again.
Right, he might be.
He's a decent horse.
Good.
Darren really likes him, and hopefully he'll progress up through the ranks.
Super, excellent.
Right.
Well, well done today.
Lovely, thank you very much. Thank you.
Great work, great day. So Dean Summersby, very delighted, completely delighted by that success today. It's been a great day as well. For just quickly before we go to the betting ring, great day for John Gardener, who's been involved. He was involved in Port-To-Point. He was involved as well later on in the day in that success in the mixed open for Singapore Saga, and also transition period as well. So great to see that John Gardener and his fellow owners having a particularly good afternoon. There's a couple of drops of rain just come down, but although it's quite a chilly afternoon and quite a grey afternoon, as you can probably gather, sometimes I think television makes days look brighter than they actually are, but looking behind on the screen, that looks about right. It's a grey, slightly dank afternoon, quite chilly, and there are just a few spots of rain as were forecast to arrive at about now in the air as well. Well, the presentation is underway after the success in our last race with the winner take it all, and the winners are indeed taking all the trophies there. So hopefully you can just about hear me with the loudspeaker system in particularly good voice this afternoon as we consider the runners and riders for the in fact let's go back to the betting ring, where I think Simon's talking to Bob Pitt is talking to Richard Pittard. Let's have a look.
Okay, Richard Pittard, you were with the live streaming when it was behind closed doors, one of the two bookies. Even the last race may not have been great because it was well backed against the favourite. How are you getting on today?
Yeah, I've won on all 5 races, but I must admit I don't tend to play a straight book. So if an outsider wins, it's probably a bad result for me. I'm that sort of bookie. I'm very opinionated. So today's been all right so far. As long as I don't get it wrong the last race, then I'll go home with a few quid in my pocket.
Richard, can I tell you something between me and you and give you a bit of advice?
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't tell Simon James you've won on all 5 races.
Yeah, he's completely the opposite. He's a proper bookie in a way, but unfortunately it doesn't work that well at Point-To-Point. So swings around.
I love an update from the betting ring with a smile on its face. So thanks very much indeed for that. Now you can see runners and riders, or runners anyway, appearing in the paddock for our final race of the afternoon. So let's check what is taking part in our 6th and final race. We've got the horses arriving in the paddock. We've got here they are. This is the 7-year-old and over maiden race, kindly sponsored by Tregawn Holiday Cottages, and thanks to Tregawn Holiday Cottages for their support. So number 1 is Arvway there, and then we've got 2 Ask Die with Bradley Gibbs riding that one. 3 Ask the Lady, interesting contender for Darren Edwards as he looks for another winner this afternoon with Ask the Lady, and Dean Summersby looks for another winner as well. 4 Botus Fleming, we heard Amy Benelick on the programme earlier on saying how excited she was about that. Then number 5 is Chapel Rock with Oliver Boyden. 6, that runs as well, Cuzzicombe with Chloe Emsley. Now 7, Jackie Daniels is ridden by Beau Morgan. 8, Oyster Perch, Darren Andrews. 9, Say About It, Vinnie Webster. And Charlie Sprake on the bottom one, number 10. That's Wise Garden. So those the runners for the final race of the afternoon on this January afternoon. the 7-year-old and over maiden race, kindly sponsored by Tregorn Holiday Cottages. We'll get news of the betting, I hope, for this race now, as the rain does begin to fall. The weather forecast has been spot on, almost to the minute, about exactly when it was going to start raining. But it's certainly nothing to cause a major panic. Nothing like yesterday, that's for sure. So what's favourite, Simon, for our last race of the day?
Well, it's the two Asks. Ask the Lady is 5-4, and Ask Die is 2-1. Bookmakers, what you describe as betting well, taking no chances in this last race. Going down the card, they go halfway there, 14-1. Ask Die is 2. Ask the Lady 5-4. Botus Fleming 10. Chapel Rock 14. Cuzzy Coombe 4. Jackie Daniels 10. Oyster Perch 16. Say About It 5. And Wise Garden 4. But as we said before, you can shop around, and there's a big crowd in front of the bookies for the last race.
So it's the two horses by Ask which are dominating proceedings.
Yeah, it is.
Super. Well, we'll get an update from you in the betting ring in a few moments' time. Thank you very much indeed. So we're looking to have a look at numbers 2 and 3 here. Just coming through our picture now is halfway there. That's halfway there going through. People wanting to crowd around the paddock for a good look at these horses. What number are you? So going through there, that's Botus Fleming. Following Botus Fleming, that I think is Ask Die. So a chance to have a good look at these. Just going through the picture now, that's Chapel Rock. The next one through will be halfway there. Don't think all the horses have quite arrived just yet, but they'll be here quite shortly. It's number 5, Chapel Rock, at the top there. Chapel Rock, 10-year-old, qualified via the Forborough. Best run was a couple of years ago now. That was in a bumper race at Newton Abbot. So that's number 5 there, Chapel Rock. Following Chapel Rock is number 1, Halfway There. We've had a good look at Halfway There. Racing for the Thomas family, couple of runs so far, finishing 5th in a maiden at Fleet, then ran a bit better over 3 miles at Bratton Down in a maiden race there. It's Halfway There. That's Oyster Perch just going through there, just trying to... So behind Oyster Perch then is Botus Fleming. And that's Ask Die then. So Ask Die is a 7-year-old by Ask. Come a long way from West Wales. Just wonder whether he can do a little bit better, but it's obviously the betting indicates that perhaps better is expected from that one. Botus Fleming's a nice big horse, isn't he? Trained by Jackie Duplessis, who's also the trainer breeder. Has run in 5 races under rules. stable going quite well at the moment, and certainly quite a taking-looking horse is number 4, Botus Fleming. So Ask Die just a little bit just behind. Don't think number 3, Ask the Lady, is just here yet. We'll try and just find her in a second. So going through there is Botus Fleming. That's Ask Die. Then behind Ask Die with the light blue Kazakum just going through the picture as well. Ed Walker well represented in this race. So jockeys emerging into the paddock for the final race of the afternoon. What number are you? 3. I must say that Ask the Lady, I don't know if we can just swing round slightly. So Ask the Lady has got looks absolutely fantastic. Right, in the centre of the picture now, the purple with the gold. Just, if we swing to the right now, swing to the right. We'll, a bit further. There we are. Looks fantastic, Ask the Lady there. 7-year-old mare by Ask, trained by Dean Summersby, looking for another success, racing for Tony and Eileen Worth. A couple of Irish point-to-points, couple in Britain as well. Also some runs under rules. Trained by Fergal O'Brien not so long ago. Ran second in a mare's handicap hurdle race at Huntingdon. Point-to-point runs have been encouraging as well. Just want to keep on having a look at her. She really fills the eye, as they say. So right in the centre, so the second of those on the far side of the course, that is Ask the Lady, and Ask the Lady looks terrific. We might get a betting update, see what price Ask the Lady is, because I would certainly make Ask the Lady the pick of the paddock from my limited knowledge. What's the price, Simon, in the betting?
Well, Ask the Lady drifted slightly to 6-4. The market settled down a bit. Ask Die 7-2. Ask the Lady 6-4. But the one the punters have come in for is Cuzzy Coombe, 4-1 into 3-1, which has made it a bit more competitive at the front of the market.
So let's try and find Kazakum. Number 6, Kazakum. Just really like the look of Ask the Lady, and I think I've just heard that's been made the best turned out. No surprise there at all, look fantastic. Number 6 has been quite popular, so we'll try and catch this one in the paddock in a second. Just walking through, that's Oyster Perch, has just gone through. Behind Oyster Perch, Botus Fleming. Behind that one is Ask Die. Number 9 just walking through, Say About It. Then I think that is Kazakum there. We'll just swing the camera over round a little bit the other way, and we'll pick up Kazakum in a second, but looks great as far as the betting ring is concerned anyway. Wise Garden just about to, Charlie Sprake just about to get the leg up on Wise Garden, quite red colours you'll be able to spot during the race. Ask the Lady does look terrific, so looking forward to seeing that in action. Jackie Daniels, another one of the Ed Walker representatives. Bo Morgan riding that one. Bit of mud on the britches, just seeing Darren Andrews go through. Say About It there, the blue and red. With Vinnie Webster riding that one. So I think we've got some more news now. What have we got now? I think we can go back to the betting ring, can we? Oh, right. Simon Knott says, the legend that is Rupert Mackerson is here at Wadebridge selling his books and prints. Even more remarkable is that Marcus Armitage managed to borrow a fiver from him. There's a nice tweet from Simon Knott. Right, the horses coming out onto the racecourse now. They're going to be led by Ask Di. Kazakum is the one that we want to have a look at, which is the one that's been quite well supported. And that well, number 6, Kazakum. So that's been quite well backed. Our next camera will pick that one up in just a second. But quite light colours with a yellow cap. Plenty of support for Kazakum. Runs for John Dawson, John Pearn. Third in the maiden race at Bratton Down, the Exmoor Foxhounds fixture on the 29th of May. Was a bit more promising after a couple of non-completions. Just feeling that Kazakum is learning and is gradually getting there. Oh, nice shot there of the runners making their way towards the start. That's Kazakum just going through the middle of the picture now. Those are the colours to be looking out for. So definitely improving. Needs to improve, but has given every indication probably is improving. Tell you what, for those of you just joining us, we can just confirm the runners and riders in full for this final race of the day. The Tregorn Holiday Cottages 7-year-old and over maiden race. So number 1, Arvway there. Number 2, Ask Di with Bradley Gibbs. Ask the Lady, number 3, with Darren Edwards, looking for yet another success today. And looks terrific. 4, Botus Fleming, nice big horse, with Amy Benelick. 5, Chapel Rock, Oliver Boyden. 6, Kazakum, bit of money for that, Chloe Emsley. Beau Morgan on number 7, Jackie Daniels. 8, Oyster Perch with Darren Andrews, looking for another success after Singapore Saga won the mixed open earlier on. Vinnie Webster on Say About It, and Charlie Sprake with Wise Garden. Wise Garden on the heels of the leaders for a fair time when 4th in a maiden race here in early December. That was a little bit better. Maiden race won by Evron. So those are the contenders for the final race of the day here at Wadebridge. Horses just having a look at an obstacle. Simon's here, so can give us a betting update just before the off as we look at the runners down at the start.
Yep, Chapel Rock, late money, 16-1 into 10-1. I don't know how much it would take to make it do that, but there's definitely been a move for it. Ask the Lady continues to drift out to 7-4. Ask Di, 4-1. And the solid and best backed horse of the race, Kazakum, at 3-1.
Kazakum at 3-1, solid and best backed. Chapel Rock, bit of support for that. I have to say that's a tiny little bit of a surprise, but somebody somewhere thinks they know something, and hence the horse shortening up in the betting. They're assembling down at the starting point. If you're unfamiliar with Wadebridge, they jump 1. They start in a sort of shoot area, jump 1, and then they head up towards us, past the finishing line, and then go and do it twice more. Chapel Rock, owned and trained by Stephen Long, qualified via the Forborough. And Chapel Rock is the one right in the centre of the picture at the moment. You can see the yellow with the green. That's the horse which is Chapel Rock. Started just seeing to the girths of the horse and Oliver Boyden, the rider, on board. So this has been at Wadebridge, where it has started to just drizzle. It's not heavy rain, just last race will be taking place in drizzle. It's been a memorable afternoon for Dean Summersby and Darren Edwards, both with plenty of success. Also for the owner John Gardener, involved in a number of different syndicates which have been successful here today. The highlight, though, a good staging of the Open. It was a mixed Open this afternoon, won by Singapore Saga, that one partly owned by John Gardener, and that one winning in good style. I thought it was a really good ride by Darren Edwards. He said the horse rather ran away and she can be quite tricky, but he seemed to, as long as you just control her but let her do what she wants, then she's okay, and she's definitely one they're going to have a little bit of fun with. Beat Sykes, and Sykes who'd shaped up very well when winning the Men's Open here at the last fixture. So this race scheduled for 2:25, which means we are a couple of minutes behind post time, but clearly an early start, a 11:30 start, and unfortunately no need to divide anything today, so therefore quite an early finish. That Chapel Rock has been back further, so I think it's now available at 8-1, is it? 8-1 top price now, having been sort of nearer 20-1. So that Chapel Rock there, the yellow and green colours you can see, start just slightly obscured for us, has been quite well back. So in this maiden, it's for 7 years and older. Ask Di there was a bit of money around for. Didn't particularly like the look of the horse, to be honest. Ask the Lady, who looked terrific. There's been bits and pieces of money around for that. Chapel Rock's been quite well supported. Cuzzacum has been quite well supported as well. So yeah, for the end of the day, plenty of interest. pointingdc.co.uk, the website for the Devon and Cornwall point-to-point area, and you can get details of the live stream that will be coming next Sunday from Buckfastleigh in Devon. But flags are raised for the final race of the afternoon, and Mark Dennis will describe it.
Flag is down then, so we're away for the final time this afternoon. Full house for this older horse maiden, 7 years and over, and they take on the first of their 18 fences, and Botus Fleming and Ask Di, Ask the Lady. That's the front rank of three as they take on fence number 2. They're all over that safely, quite tightly bunched up in the early stages then as they sweep the bend into the home straight and race on to fences 3 and 4. So Ask the Lady rose first over that. Also going up there to join him is Jackie Daniels as they cross the next, and they're all over that safely. And Chapel Rock is the back marker of the 10 in the very early stages as they proceed now past the judge. 2 seconds ahead of the race. Ask the Lady and Darren Edwards. Ask the Lady looked to be racing quite keenly. Jackie Daniels now is taken up the lead. Ask Di is just in the slipstream on the outside of that one, and Botus Fleming is also up there a little bit wider out. Following these through is halfway there, Say About It, Oyster Perch on the inside, Wise Garden. This is the open ditch then for the first time, and they've all jumped the ditch okay. Cuzzacum and Chapel Rock are the 2 back markers then as they continue up to the final plain fence in the home straight. And again, they've all safely negotiated that and all look to have jumped it pretty much without incident as they race on up then to the top end of the course. Ask the Lady was the 11-10 favourite. 2-1 is Ask Di. Cuzzacum is 9-4, and then we're at a 4-1 for Wise Garden. 6-1 is Jackie Daniels. Botus Fleming's so a 6-1 chance, and the rest are 10-1 or bigger. So They arrive back in front of us then to this plain fence, the only plain fence in the back straight, and they're over that safely. And race along the level then before they make this big descent then over the hill. So Jackie Daniels and Bo Morgan with the advantage. Ask the Lady on the inside. On the outside, Ask Di. Botus Fleming with the red sash is a little bit wider out. 2 lengths then back to halfway there, and Heidi Stevens, Wise Garden and Charlie Sprague on the inside. Oliver Boyden and Chapel Rock follow these through. A little bit wider out is Cuzzy Coombe, and then Oyster Perch on the inside in the green colours is the back marker of the 10 then, as they complete the descent and race up to this plain fence up the far side. So Jackie Daniels just got a little bit tight to that. That's the Lady, who's up to within a half length of the lead now. Ask Di is another length back. Botus Fleming is 4. As they cross the necks then, halfway there, just pecked marginally on landing, and we've lost Jackie Daniels at that. Jackie Daniels unseats Bo Morgan. He's up on his feet okay, which is good to see. As the rest of the field continue on then to what will be the final fence in the circuit's time. Ask the Lady, been left in the lead slightly. Ask Di on the outside. Botus Fleming is 3. Wise Gardens under a little bit of pressure, back in 4, with halfway there just going into 4th now. And in behind this, Chapel Rock, Cuzzy Coombe, say about it, and Oyster Perch, the one that's becoming a little detached as they race past us then, and just under a circuit left to race in this Older Horse Maiden final race of the afternoon here at Wadebridge. As they approach the ditch now, and Ask the Lady jumps that well enough. Wise Garden being driven now by Charlie Sprague as they continue up to this final plain fence in the home straight, and they're all over that safely. And now Ask the Lady, Darren Edwards is looking over his shoulder for any dangers. He's on the favourite and looking for a 4-timer this afternoon here, Darren Edwards. So they're on the turn at the top end of the course and racing back towards us. Ask the Lady from Ask Di. Halfway there is now into 3rd on the outside under Heidi Stevens. Botus Fleming's in behind these as they take on this plain fence then. And they come to it. The leaders safely out over it. The rest come to it now. Oyster Perch still the back marker, and the whip is up for Chapel Rock. So they race along the level then, and prepare now for this big descent. So Ask the Lady, now taken on by halfway there. On the inside is Ask Di. These 3 have got about 8 lengths clear then of Botus Fleming and Cuzzy Coombe. Say about it's on the inside then. Wise Garden looks to have cracked. Oyster Perch also driven, and Chapel Rock is becoming increasingly detached. So they've almost completed the descent now, and Ask Di has been sent into the lead under Bradley Gibbs. Goes a length clear then as the Ask the Lady's been switched to the outside. They cross 4 out. That was 4 from home. Halfway there, back in 3, and say about it now running on from the back into 4th as they take on 3 from home. That was 3 out. Ask Di with halfway there now on the outside of Ask the Lady, trying to go into 2nd as they sweep the turn then and come into the home straight. 2 fences remain. This is 2 out for Ask Di. And say about it now, a big mistake there from Vinnie Jones when coming with a run. So at the final fence then, Ask Di now being tackled on the inside by halfway there. They've gone 2 or 3 lengths clear then of Say About It and Ask the Lady. So Ask Di, Bradley Gibbs just drives him out to the line now. It's going to score by about 4 lengths. 2 halfway there. Say About It is 3. Botus Fleming and Ask the Lady 4 and 5. Oyster Perch runs on next from Cuzzy Coombe. Wise Garden to be the final one to finish.
So, a big pat down the neck for Arsdye. Arsdye successful in our last race of the afternoon. I thought the horse was slightly unprepossessing to look at in the paddock, but nothing unprepossessing about the eventual success. And this horse, Arsdye, hadn't really demonstrated anything so far, but has come home as the winner, just coming into the picture now. There we are. Swing. Can we swing just there? There we are, number 2. So number 2, our winner, and ends up doing it in pretty good style. So well done to the team. Let's have a look at the closing stages. See how they did it. Winning jockey very happy over here. So they've grabbed the advantage now as we see them racing on down into the closing stages. And oh yes, there's a few celebratory Welsh voices here. So I think the horse actually just eased in the betting, didn't he, before the off? But he's ended up winning this in good style. There's a mistake there down at the bottom of your card by Say About It, and makes another mistake, Say About It, as well. But Arsdye is being challenged, the yellow diamond colours over on the far side by halfway there, able to assert in the closing stages and make the long journey to Cornwall worthwhile today. And that's the end of our final race of the afternoon. Have we got some starting prices as the rain does the rain begins to come down more heavily? Starting prices.
Yes, the winner was 9-2, opened up 2-1, friendless in the betting ring. Runner-up 20-1, and Say About It was 8-1. The runner-up being halfway there.
Yeah, and then the third horse, Say About It.
Yeah, Say About It was returned 8-1. Great result for the bookmakers. They couldn't give away the winner.
Yeah, and and that Chapel Rock. That was, I think, anyone who thought that was some kind of inspired gamble, or Kazakum not able to feature as it turned out.
Yeah, you have to remember it's not Royal Ascot, so it wouldn't have taken a lot of money to send that from 16 into 8, but all the same, somebody backed it somewhere and left it behind.
And all in all, summing up the betting day.
Yeah, well, the last race, the bookmakers said it was one of the best betting races they've ever had down here, and it went their way. So they're all smiling.
They'll come back.
They will.
As indeed will you at Buckfastleigh in 7 days' time?
Absolutely, looking forward to it, yes, Cornelius.
Well done, Simon. Thanks very much indeed. They are, I was about to say lovely scenes. Maybe lovely is not quite right. It's raining, it's cold, and it's quite muddy, as you can see. But that is a quintessential point-to-point scene from Britain, isn't it? Or indeed these islands. Point-to-pointing in pretty good heart here on this chilly January day. Delighted to see the racing correspondent of the Daily Telegraph here, Marcus Armitage. I hope that the fixture will feature in one of his columns in the not too distant future. Be keeping an eye out for that one, and of course on the website for the Devon and Cornwall area, pointingdc.co.uk, we'll make certain that that article, when it comes out in the Telegraph, will be highlighted. Those are all our various social media platforms. We're back again in 7 days' time from Buckfastleigh. Looking forward to that particular fixture. Hope they're as lucky with the rain as basically we've been here today. It has rained for the last 20 minutes, half an hour, but most of the afternoon wasn't too bad. Quite chilly, but what is it, January the 9th, so we can't really expect anything too much. Let's just quickly sum up before we say cheerio the results of the day, and so I will sum up the results by looking at them. Port O'Clock winning our first race of the afternoon. Port O'Clock, one of 3 winners here today for owner John Gardener in various guises. So good afternoon for John. That one owned with Torben Hughes, and the first of a good spell for Dean Summersby. But Potter's Approach, that was the runner-up, ran with particular distinction in second place there. Then race 2, success for Broadclist, Sue Trump's horse Broadclist, and that one giving Anna Johnston a first success, but a good run in second place by Field Exhibition. Then really enjoyed the mixed open won by Singapore Saga. That's another one for John Gardener, with various friends involved in Singapore Saga, ridden by Darren Andrews. Did particularly well at Singapore Saga. Beat Sykes, ridden by Darren Edwards, but Darren Edwards has actually had a very good day, having won on Port O'Clock. Then he was successful as well on Transition Period for John Gardener and his wife Sonia. That one also trained by Dean Summersby. Looks like a horse to follow in the 4, 5 and 6-year-old maiden. And then at towards the end of the day, race 5, Fountains Chief fell early on, so the winner take it all. Again, it was Darren Edwards and Dean Summersby. Darren riding in the colours of Michael Bickle. The winner take it all, winning that restricted race. And then the older maiden has just gone to Ask Di, the Welsh challenger, ridden by Bradley Gibbs. And that sums it up for the day. Thank you very much indeed for your coverage. Get all the news of these live streams via the website pointingdc.co.uk. In the meanwhile, from a damp, chilly, slightly muddy winners' enclosure at Wadebridge, we'll say goodbye and see you at Buckfastleigh in 7 days' time. Have a good week.
Action packed.
Countrywide.
Everyone. Sports for all.